Naruto, my chat group spans through history. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction. So please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 1. How can you be the protagonist if you have never been the last one? The first place in this assessment is, Umino Iruka deliberately prolonged his voice Uchiha Sasuke. In response to him, Uchiha Sasuke's signature indifference, she folded her arms across her chest, her mouth slightly raised, as if everything was expected. Humph this hum. Hiruno Sakura, a loyal fan of Sasuke, was so excited that she almost jumped up. As expected of Sasuke, he's amazing, so handsome. Sasuke, her screams were filled with endless admiration, and her face flushed with excitement. Annoying, did you hear that? Sasuke got first place. Hiruno Sakura excitedly pulled Ino next to her. I know. Are you annoying? This is so childish. Ino pulled Sakura's hand away with a look of disgust. When she was little, she also thought Sasuke was handsome, but now that she has grown up, she is not so obsessed with Sasuke anymore. Besides, there is someone much more interesting than Sasuke. The second place goes to. The third place goes to. Umino Iruka's voice sounded again, announcing the next rankings. Finally, he announced the results of the last two with some reluctance. Number 32, Shinomiya Yuzuki. Number 33, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto listened attentively, and every announcement of the ranking made his heart tighten. When the rankings were settled, Naruto had an exaggerated expression on his face. Yaoyu, your ranking is actually higher than mine. Before the test, he made a casual bet with Shigen Yaoyu. The loser must treat the winner to a meal of Ichiriko ramen. I have to lose another bowl of Ichiriko ramen to you. His eyes unconsciously drifted to the frog wallet beside him that was filled with coins, but there was only a few coins left. However, Naruto is a man of his word, and he will never break his promise even if he is short of money. Let's go eat ramen after school. There is a hint of optimism in Naruto's words. Then he added another sentence, which made people feel sad. But I only have enough money for one bowl, so please leave me some soup. He gently poked Shigen Yaoyu beside him. Shigen Yaoyu always has a listless expression. It was not until Naruto gently pushed that Shigen Yuzuki seemed to be pulled back to reality from his distant thoughts, and his body moved slightly. Eat it yourself. I have no appetite. There was a hint of weakness in Shigen Yaoyu's tone, as he lay on the table. Hey, Yaoyu, how can this be possible? I promised you. Facing Naruto's insistence, Shinomiya Yuzuki said, if you really care about this, just protect me from now on. When Naruto heard this, he immediately clenched his fists and looked determined. You are my friend, of course I will protect you. Then, Naruto's curiosity was aroused, but then again, Yaoyu, I remember you've said this many times. Is there anyone who wants to hit you? Don't worry, I will definitely help you. Shigen Yaoyu felt mixed emotions and sighed softly. Not now, but I don't know in the future. Naruto heard this and scratched his head, looking confused. In the future? How do you know what will happen in the future, Yaoyu? However, Shigen Yaoyu's heart was in turmoil. Of course I know, because I am a time traveler from the Fourth Ninja World War caused by Uchiha Obito to the Infinite Moon. Reading those are still far away, but the plan to collapse Konoha planned by Orochimaru during the Chunin exams will happen in less than a few months. Which of these is not full of dangers? A matter of life and death. Every disaster directly threatens his tiny life. Why am I so unlucky? Shigen Yaoyu secretly sighed in his heart. It has been 12 years since he traveled through time. Not only does he not have any golden finger blessing, his own qualifications are also extremely mediocre in every assessment. He competed with Naruto for the embarrassing title of the last place, and the two took turns to be the banker. But in Naruto, the last one is often the most terrifying one. When Obito and Kai were in school, they were ranked last, but their lives were brilliant. Obito ascended to heaven, incarnated into the six paths Kai, 8 gates of Dungia, holy body Naruto. Kizaru's greatness needs no further explanation. What's more embarrassing is that Naruto is unable to use ninjutsu normally due to the influence of the 9 tails in his body, and Yatsuki is really a wimp. In the current situation, whether he can graduate successfully and become a ninja is unknown. In this case, Hugging Naruto's thigh is undoubtedly the best choice, so he started to improve his popularity since he was a child, and it has lasted for nearly 10 years so far. If Naruto really wants to protect him with the power of 6 paths, yellow monkey looking at the entire ninja world. Who dares to kill me? Who can kill me? I am the third turn. No, it's off stage. I am Naruto's best friend. Hey. You two, pay attention. You always rank last in every assessment. Instead of reflecting on yourselves, you even have the mind to slack off and fool around here. Iruka's voice was harsh and helpless. Naruto sensed the pressure of this gaze and forced an awkward but slightly playful smile. This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Quickly adjust your sitting posture and pretend to be listening attentively. Meanwhile, Shigen Yaoyu, who was beside him, was still lazily lying on the table, as if she was oblivious to the criticism from the outside world. The whole person exudes an atmosphere of I have given up treatment. Just when Shigen Yuzuki was about to immerse himself in his own world, happily imagining that he would sleep until the bell rang, a strange sound suddenly rang out from the depths of his consciousness. Ding! Ninja chat group loading completed. You have been set as the group owner by default. This sudden information was like a thunderbolt, instantly breaking his sleepiness. Shigen Yaoyu suddenly jumped up from the table, his back straightened, his eyes flashing with disbelief. This action surprised Naruto, who was sitting next to him. Huh? Yatsuki, what's wrong with you? Why are you so energetic all of a sudden? Naruto asked curiously. I saw that Shigen Yaoyu's face was filled with unprecedented excitement. Naruto, I have good news for you. I'm about to take off. Ha ha ha, it's finally here, my savior, my cheat has arrived. He laughed excitedly, his words full of anticipation and confidence. Naruto listened to this, although he was confused about the word cheating, but from Yaoyu's expression, he knew that this was a good thing for Yaoyu. Congratulations, Yaoyu, it looks like your luck is about to turn around. Hey, Naruto, just wait from now on. With me here, no one will dare to bully you. After saying this, Shigen Yaoyu couldn't wait to lie down again, concentrating on exploring this mysterious hook group chat. Let me see what you can do. As he silently thought in his heart, a transparent screen full of futuristic technology suddenly appeared in front of him, and only he could see it after a few minutes of exploration. Yaoyu roughly mastered the operation of the group chat and was amazed. Oh my god, even Penguin's business can infiltrate the other world these days. This group chat is like the social software in the modern world, which can bring a group of people together to communicate, but its uniqueness lies in its ability to transcend the boundaries of time and space, pulling characters from different timelines into the same chat room. A series of ridiculous scenes emerged in Yaoyu's mind. Uchiha Obito's shocked expression when he suddenly saw his beloved Naruto in the group. And will the encounter between Uchiha Madara in different timelines lead to virtual war due to differences in ideas? But he is not worried about this. After all, as the group owner, he has special privileges. For example, group members cannot cause any harm to the group owner, which makes him invincible. Also has management authority such as kicking people. Nice one. Group chat level LV1. Current number of people in group chat? 1. Group leader, Shinomiya Yuzuki. Timeline, Konoha 60 years. Number of people left to pull. 1. Can a group chat still be called a group chat if it only has one person? We have to quickly invite people in to make it lively. Thinking of this, a gleam of excitement flashed in Shigen Yaoyu's eyes, and he was ready to start his recruiting plan. Chapter 2, Vegetative, Living Water. Little Obito joins the group. Hashirama Senju joins the group chat. Uchiha Obito joins the group chat. Namikaze Minato joins the group chat. Hiss. Looks like I'm lucky, they're all famous ninjas. God of Ninja, Golden Flash, and Void. I never thought that we would be able to invite 3 heavyweights at once. Since group chat members are added randomly, Yaoi only hopes to welcome a few strong people at the moment. The effect seems good. As the group leader, Shigen Yaoi naturally has to welcome Shigen Yuzuki. Welcome everyone to join this group chat. You may have many questions, you can ask me. I will answer them one by one at the same time. 2 years of Konoha. Konoha village is newly established, and everything is waiting to be revived as the first Hokage. Hashirama Senju has to deal with many affairs every day at this time. He was buried in a mountain of documents, scratching his head and thinking hard. How long will it take for Tobirama to arrive? Just then, a voice sounded in his mind. Welcome to join the Ninja World group chat. Okay, Senju. Hashirama looked around in confusion, then he realized laughter resounded. Madara, it's you, what's this new genjutsu? However, Madara did not show up, but instead 2 text messages appeared in front of him. Shigen Yuzuki, Welcome everyone to join this group chat. You may have many questions, you can ask me, I will answer them one by one. This confused Senju Hashirama. A similar situation also happened to the other two new members. They all thought they were under some kind of illusion attack. It was not until Yaoyu made it clear in the group that this was not an illusion but a real thing that everyone became even more confused. Uchiha Obito? What is this? Group chat? A new invention, Senju Hashirama? I don't know, I have never heard of it. I thought your clan leader was playing a joke on me using magic. By the way, Uchiha child, have you seen Madara? Uchiha Obito? Senju Hashirama. In the timeline of the 47th year of the Konoha calendar, Uchiha Obito was surprised when he saw the speaker's name. Is it the legendary god of ninja? But hasn't he been dead for decades? Uchiha Obito, are you the founder of Konoha village, the first Hokage? Senju Hashirama, what do you think? Senju Hashirama was quite helpless. What happened to this Uchiha child? Konoha has only been established for 2 years. Has he forgotten me? Uchiha Obito, but you have been dead for decades, haven't you? Senju Hashirama, then I go. At this moment, someone opened the door and walked in. Brother, I'm here. What are you doing? Tobirama's face was filled with black lines, and he saw Senju Hashirama lying on the table with a frustrated look on his face. Tobirama, I have been dead for decades, he said weakly. Tobirama held his forehead with his hand. Brother, what nonsense are you talking about again? Senju Hashirama pointed to the group chat interface that only he could see. Look, this Uchiha kid said I've been dead for decades, as expected. Tobirama just rolled his eyes. You have nothing here, brother, you are not hallucinating because you have been overworked recently, right? Go and rest, I'll take care of this. Tobirama, you really can't see. Ignoring Senju Hashirama's questioning, Tobirama pushed him out the door and told him to go home and have a good rest. Senju Hashirama had no choice but to go home and stay in bed. In group chat, seeing that the topic was gradually becoming popular, Yaoyu decided to come forward to clarify. Shinomiya Yuzuki, everyone, at Uchiha Obito at Senju Hashirama, do you find it very strange? Uchiha Obito, of course it's strange. Is it haunted? The first generation has been dead for decades, how can he speak here? By the way, who are you? Period. Senju Hashirama, he's the leader of the group. Uchiha Obito, hey. How do you know, Mr. First Generation Ghost? Senju Hashirama, isn't there the word group leader next to his name? Uchiha Obito, haha, I didn't notice. Senju Hashirama, also, when did I become a ghost? Before they knew it, the two of them started chatting nonsense again. Fortunately, Hashirama Senju is much smarter than Obito. He asked, Senju Hashirama, as the leader of the group, you should be the master of this place. Can you explain what is going on? Shigen Yaoyu, I was about to say this, but you interrupted me. Senju Hashirama, oh, sorry, Shinomiya Yuzuki, this is a group chat? As the name suggests, it is designed for chatting. The members participating in the chat come from all over the world. The most important point is that you all come from different timelines. Although we are both in the ninja world, you, the first Hokage, are 2 years into Konoha, and Obito is in the 47th year of Konoha, so your conversation seems weird, because in his time and space, you have indeed been dead for decades, and I come from a later era. Senju Hashirama, I see, this is how it is. It's amazing, it seems that the descendants are very powerful. They can even communicate across time. Uchiha Obito, so, the first generation is not a ghost? Phew, I was shocked, my dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. I'm sorry, Master Shode. Senju Hashirama, it's okay. Is that your reaction? This is communication across time and space. Can you act a little more shocked? Yaoyu opened her eyes wide. These two are really funny. Their ideas are unique at this moment. Minato Namake's, who was diving and observing, could no longer hold back. Namake's Minato, connecting different timelines? Is this true? Timeline, Konoha 48 years this year. Namake's Minato succeeded as Hokage and became the 4th Hokage of Konoha, but he wasn't feeling relaxed in the war. He lost 2 of his disciples, Uchiha Obito and Nahara. He was supposed to be handling official business in the office today, but suddenly a voice dragged me into a group chat among them. There were people claiming to be the first Hokage and Uchiha Obito talking. This made Minato Namake's furious. How cruel it was to make fun of the dud. He secretly observed, trying to find loopholes and uncover the mastermind behind the scenes. But with Yaoyu's explanation, Namake's Minato was deeply touched. The members in the group really come from different timelines, and Obito in the group is in the 47th year of Konoha at that time. He had not yet died. This means that this group chat was not created by someone's illusion, but it definitely exists. His doubts in the group were quickly responded to by the group leader Shinomiya Yuzuki. Of course it is true. I found that you, the fourth Hokage, are in Konoha 48 years, which is very close to the time and space where Obito is. At this time, Uchiha Obito also saw the message from Minato Namikaze and was full of surprise. Uchiha Obito, Minato-sensei. You are also in the group. Although he knew that these two Minato were not the same person, Obito still respected them very much. Teacher Minato, tell me in secret, in the future, will Lin agree to my confession? Namikaze Minato, Obito. Namikaze Minato apologizes. He didn't know how to face this disciple in the past time and space because soon he will die on the battlefield because of his lateness. After Obito's death, Nahara Rin was also captured by the Hidden Mist village and implanted with the Three Tails. In order to prevent the Three Tails from destroying Konoha, she chose to voluntarily fall to Kakashi. Chapter 3 Upload. The future. Obito opens the main Jikai. Uchiha Obito was unaware of Minato Namikaze's inner struggle, and he was sincerely happy that the group leader called Minato the fourth Hokage. Uchiha Obito, Minato-sensei, you have become the Hokage. That is amazing. In the future I will inherit your mantle and become the fifth Hokage. However, Minato Namikaze was far from relaxed, and he had no intention of joking with Obito at the moment. Namikaze Minato, Obito, what time is it there now? Uchiha Obito, Konoha's 47th year. Didn't leader Yuzuki just mention that? Teacher, do you have any questions? Namikaze Minato, please be more specific. What month and date is it? Uchiha Obito, January 23rd. Hearing this date, Minato Namikaze's heartstrings tightened. Obito was killed on February 2nd, less than 2 weeks before the disaster. Namikaze Minato, Obito, listen to me, you, Shigen Yaoyu, alright, you too, let me interrupt for a moment. Fourth generation, I can guess your intention, you just want to remind Obito and help him survive this war. Namikaze Minato was surprised, wondering how Yuzuki could see through it, and Shigen Yaoyu's next words are even more shocking. Shigen Yuzuki, but you need to know that Uchiha Madara is behind this series of events. Even if Obito can avoid this disaster, there may be another in the future. Obito has been chosen by Madara to be the executor of the Moon Eye project. To change this predetermined fate, he can only rely on himself. On the other side of the screen, Obito blinked in confusion, although it was unexpected that Uchiha Madara, who had been dead for decades, was still alive and making trouble in the ninja world. But after what happened to Hashirama Senju, he was not too surprised. He just wondered when he became the core of Madara's plan. This series of information was a huge shock to Minato Namikaze and Hashirama Senju. Namikaze Minato, Uchiha Madara? Didn't he already die in the battle at the Valley of the End, defeated by the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama? Madara? Impossible, Madara is definitely not that kind of person. Besides, there is no place like the Valley of the End in our world. How could Madara die there at my hands? Senju Hashirama holds a glimmer of hope. Shigen Yuzuki, it was your battle that changed the terrain. The area that was originally a plain was later called the Valley of the End. Senju Hashirama, this, indeed, given their strength, it is not surprising that they can change the terrain by fighting with all their strength. However, will Madara really die in his own hands? A complex emotion appeared on Senju Hashirama's face, because this meant that their previous vision was completely shattered. The breakup between the two seems inevitable, and this is the reality he is unwilling to face. Shinomiya Yuzuki, I have a chronicle of the ninja world here. Maybe you should take a look at it. Yuzuki Shinomiya uploaded a video. Shinomiya Yuzuki, after watching this, you will understand everything. The chat group has a special feature that can convert memories into video sharing. UIU used this function to sort out the Naruto animation content that he watched in his previous life, and selected the key points to release. Senju Hashirama downloaded the video. Uchiha Obito downloaded the video. Namikaze Minato downloaded the video. The three of them couldn't wait to start watching the video. Period. The video starts from the Warring States period, covering the First, Second, Third and Fourth Ninja World Wars, and includes major events such as Obito's transformation into a black person and the Nine Tails Rebellion. Time passes slowly. Uchiha Obito was the first to break the silence. Uchiha Obito, group leader, is this true? Is Lin really dead? No, this is fake. How could such a thing possibly happen? Shigen Yuzuki opened his eyes wide in surprise. No way, Brother Tuzi, how can you be so absorbed in watching a video? You're not putting yourself in the situation, are you? Even your speaking style has changed. etc. Could it be that this kid has already opened the main Gekkai Sharingan? Out of curiosity about Obito's abnormal condition, Yuzuki asked. Shinomiya Yuzuki, at Uchiha Obito, That is the future that has not happened yet, so it has not happened yet, but, you are not putting yourself in it, are you? Have you opened the Mangekyo, Uchiha Obito? Picture JPG. Is it this one? Yaoi looked closely and was stunned. Fuck, it's really the Mangekyo Sharingan. Obito sent a selfie, with a pair of bright red Mangekyo Sharingan flashing in his eye sockets. You're invincible, kid. I was speechless except for giving a thumbs up at this time. Namikaze Minato also sent a message. Namikaze Minato, I don't know what to say. Thank you, Master Yaoi, for telling me about the future. But I find it hard to accept such a future, but I'm going to change it. The disciple was led step by step into the abyss by Madara, which eventually led to the Nine-Tails Rebellion. As a result, he and his beloved died at the hands of the Nine-Tailed Fox, leaving his young son to live alone. After that, it caused a stir in the ninja world. He was determined to change all this. After seeing Minato's message, Obito immediately said, Uchiha Obito, I'm sorry, teacher. He was referring to the video of Yuzuki showing what he did during the Nine-Tail Rebellion. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Killing my mentor with my own hands. It is unbelievable that such a thing happened to me. Namikaze Minato. That's just a possible future. You don't have to apologize. Besides, that Obito is not you. As for Obito in my timeline, I don't blame him. Everything is caused by Uchiha Madara. After a moment of silence, Minato finally chose to forgive. As a mature adult, Minato will not easily lose his mind. He knows that all the responsibility lies with Madara in his heart. Obito is always that helpful and positive child. At this time, Yaoi interrupted the conversation. Shinomiya Yuzuki, hey guys, this hasn't happened yet. The purpose of me sharing the future is not to make you sigh here. This speech was like a wake-up call. Uchiha Obito, the group leader is right. Teacher, I have the power now, and I will never let Madara's conspiracy succeed. I want to save Rin and end this chaotic world. Namikaze Minato, haha, then I can't lose to my apprentice. Even though my Obito has gone astray, as a master, I must guide him back. Looking at the two people in the group who were full of fighting spirit, Shigen Yaoi felt very pleased. This was the significance of establishing this chat group. Wait, two people, why is the other person silent? Konoha year 2. Bang bang bang, open the door, I know you are in there. Madara, open the door quickly. Hashirama knocked hard on Madara's door, which quickly attracted the attention of the surrounding Uchiha clan members. Isn't this Lord Hashirama? What is he doing? It's rare to see him so angry. SHH, don't meddle in other people's business, this is their business. Is that the kind of relationship between Hokage-sama and the clan leader? A young Uchiha clan member was surprised. Don't be so curious, kid. Okay, go play somewhere else. Bang, the door was suddenly opened, and Ban appeared at the door with a serious face. Hashi hot mom, if you don't give me a reasonable explanation. Before he could finish his words, a heavy punch from Hashirama hit him in the face. Bang, Madara's entire body was knocked away and hit the wall heavily. Oh no. Run. They are about to attack. Seeing that the situation was not good, the onlookers fled in all directions and disappeared without a trace. In the blink of an eye, their intuition was correct. The next moment, a huge Susanoo broke through the roof and covered the sky. Susanoo in its prime. Haxi hot mom, Madara controlled Susanoo and descended from the sky with a 40-meter-long sword in hand. Not to be outdone, Hashirama clasped his hands together. A huge wooden man as big as Susanoo rises from the ground. Madara, the two giants are brazenly clashing, and the battle is in full swing. After a while, there was a wave of fluctuations in the space. Senju Tobirama suddenly appeared. He didn't need his subordinates to report. He could feel the unusual movement in the center of Konoha. What's going on? Why are they fighting? Tobirama was shocked. I don't know. The Hokage suddenly came to the clan leader and knocked on the door. As soon as the clan leader opened the door, the two started fighting. By the way, Hokage-sama seemed very angry when he knocked on the door. The simple conversation did not allow Tobirama to obtain key information. He decided not to intervene for the time being and directly ordered, don't worry about them for now. Evacuate everyone here first. No matter how many buildings are damaged, let my brother pay for it later. Anyway, Hashirama has the ability to build the required house in an instant. Soon, the people around them quickly evacuated, leaving enough space for the two to fight. The battle lasted until sunset. Chapter 4 Offline Real Uchiha Madara. Finally, Madara fell to the ground. This scene also indirectly revealed that once Hashirama got serious, Madara is indeed no match for him. Without the Nine Tails power, Madara is unable to perform the terrifying beast's trick. Hashirama didn't even need to summon such a powerful secret technique as the True Thousand Hands. Brother, What happened here? Tobirama appeared at the scene as if teleporting. He first glanced at the fallen Madara, then turned his gaze to his brother, full of suspicion. The relationship between these two has always been very close, so what is going on today? Zujian glanced at him calmly and said in a deep voice, "You go back first. This is a matter between him and me." Hashirama did not immediately give further explanation. Tobirama was about to ask, but when he met Hashirama's unquestionable gaze, he swallowed the words back. He simply said, "Then I will go and count the losses first," then left in a hurry without Tobirama's interference. Hashirama looked at Madara solemnly and said with deep sorrow, "Madara, until now, I still find it hard to believe that you would go this far. Period. You betrayed our common ideals." Madara was furious and confused by Hashirama's sudden attack. However, Hashirama's words were like cold water poured over his head. Let him calm down suddenly. "You know all that, how could I not know? Otherwise, how could I have come to this point? Ben, turn back now, there's still time." The pillar's serious words, but Ben sneered. "Hashirama, do you know that the creation of the world by the six-path sage was a failure, and I will build a truly perfect world? It doesn't matter how you knew about my Moon Eye project, because you are powerless to stop me." The sound and appearance of the spot are fierce. "Wait. What is the Eye of the Moon?" Hashirama was stunned for a moment. "You don't even know the Moon Eye?" Madara was also surprised. "Well, I've heard of the Moon Eye, but that's not why I'm here." "You mean the infinite moon reading?" Madara was speechless for a moment. "Didn't you just say that you already knew that I was going to implement the Moon Eye project?" "No, I am angry about your future actions that go against your original intentions. We agreed to work together to create a ninja world without war, but you ended up becoming the source of war. Even worse, he tempted the innocent Obito into the abyss of darkness. His evil deeds are too numerous to list." Hashirama counts all the things that Madara did not do. Unexpectedly, Ben's face became more gloomy. "Haxi hot mom, you're teasing me." Originally thought that the Moon Eye project was leaked, which made Hashirama unacceptable. He came to argue angrily, but it turned out to be because of some inexplicable future. "When did you gain the ability to see into the future? Isn't this just a joke? Fire escape, the great fire extinguishes, that's weird. Why hasn't the first generation made any move yet? Logically, he should be the one who cares about Madara the most." Shigen Yaoi started to wonder in his heart, but the get out of class was over, and he was going home to have dinner, so he didn't think about it anymore. Yuzuki didn't know that Hashirama was a man of action and went straight to the real Uchiha Madara offline. "Hey, Naruto, come to my house for dinner tonight." Yuzuki gently patted Naruto's shoulder. Is this really possible? Yatsuki Naruto's face was full of surprise compared to eating instant noodles at home. Going to Yaoi's house for dinner is obviously much more tempting. Just come here. Okay. By the way, are we still going to eat Ichiraku ramen? I promised you, eat, but let's do it another day, forget about today. Alright. The two walked out of the classroom side by side, chatting and laughing. This scene fell into Xiaoying's eyes, and she immediately flashed a hint of disdain, as expected of two people who are lagging behind. They actually get along so well. Hey, broad forehead, it's not nice to say bad things about people behind their backs. I know. Who was standing by? Protested. It's none of your business, Inabor. If you like them, just go with them. That way I'll have one less competitor for Sasuke. HMPH. Shino rolled her eyes and turned away. Sakura ignored her reaction and moved closer to Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, let's go too. However, Sasuke didn't even glance at her and walked right past her, putting Sakura in an awkward situation. The other side, Yuzuki and Naruto quickly returned home and bought some ingredients for dinner at the market. On the way, Yuzuki is also alone. His parents died in the chaos of the Nine-Tail Night. As a Jonin's father and a Chunin's mother, he was left with a rich inheritance and a house near the downtown area. This makes Yaoi's life safe. You wash the rice and cook, I'll cook the vegetables. Yuzuki assigned Naruto a simple task. Leave it to me. Naruto agreed energetically. Soon, a simple but warm dinner was ready. There were no delicacies from land and sea, only a steamed fish, a plate of lush green vegetables and a bowl of hot soup. But for Naruto, this kind of home-cooked meal is a rare delicacy. It's so delicious, super delicious. Naruto devoured the food like a whirlwind, and more than 80% of the food went into his stomach. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. When he put down his chopsticks, Naruto realized this. Oops. Yaoi, I'm sorry, did I eat too much? It's okay, eat more. Are you full? Yaoi asked with a smile, resting her chin on her hand. I'm full, thank you for the treat. Don't think this is a free dinner. Yaoyu suddenly changed the subject. Huh? Naruto was stunned. Then I'll give you money. Yaoyu smiled and said, I don't need your money, just go wash the dishes. No problem. Naruto is full of passion and energy. Time passes quietly, and the night gradually covers the earth. It's time for Naruto to go home. Yaoyu, I'm leaving, be careful on the road. Gonna. After closing the door, Yaoyu took a shower and went to bed early. Ninjago world doesn't have much entertainment at night without a smartphone. Lying down seems to be the only option. Check if there is any new message in the group. When I opened the group chat interface, I saw Obito and Minato, the master and apprentice, were chatting animatedly. Scrolling up, the amount of information is amazing. Yu glanced at it and couldn't help but sigh that Obito had already started to get carried away, relying on the fact that he had opened his main Gekkai Sharingan in advance. He even threatened in the group that he would unify the ninja world, so that the war would never start again and achieve permanent peace. His starting point is good, but he is a little unclear about his own strength. Fortunately, Minato Namikaze stopped him in time. It is undeniable that Obito, who possesses the double Kamui, is extremely powerful, but he has a fatal weakness that cannot be ignored. In the original story, Obito was able to stir up the ninja world without being destroyed, and Kamui certainly played an important role, but the most important thing is his half-body Hashirama cells. Like an inexhaustible source of energy, without the support of Hashirama cells, he would have gone blind long ago due to his frequent use of the main Gekkai Sharingan. Although Obito in this time and space unlocked Kamui earlier, but without the power bank of Hashirama cells, his power cannot last long. Besides, he has almost no strength except Kamui. He doesn't know wood escape, nor does he have yin-yang escape. He probably can't even use storm dance. How can he unify the ninja world? Period. Chapter 5. Madara knows the truth. Uchiha Obito? Well, indeed. I don't have Hashirama cells, so let's put this matter aside for now. How about asking the first generation for some directly? With Hashirama-sama alive and well here, it shouldn't be difficult to get some cells, right? Namikaze. Minato, Obito, it's not polite to talk to the first generation like that. Uchiha Obito? Sorry, by the way, it seems like I haven't seen Master Hashirama for quite a while. Yaoyu suddenly realized what was going on when she heard this. By the way, where on earth did Hashirama go? At the same time, Konoha's second year, at Nanga Shrine. This is the sacred place of the Uchiha clan. Under the shrine, Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama stood side by side, with a stone tablet in front of them. You mean, the records on this stone tablet have been tampered with? Ban frowned. That's right. It was a guy named Black Zetsu who did this. The Moon Eye project is a scam. It can never bring about a truly perfect world. After the infinite Tsukuyomi is implemented, all humans in the world will be transformed into creatures called White Zetsu. Madara, do you think this is perfect? Hashirama looked at Madara with a serious expression, but Ben was skeptical about this. Humph, this is all your one-sided statement. What evidence do you have? Ben is not easily fooled. At the beginning, Hashirama vowed to make him the first Hokage of Konoha. What happened? He took that seed himself. Maybe this is another story that Hashirama made up to keep him in Konoha? As for the evidence, Hashirama scratched his head. For the time being, I really can't come up with any substantial evidence. After all, the video is not a physical object unless Ban joins the group to watch. He cannot forward it. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration came to Hashirama. Please wait a moment, I will find evidence for you. After that, Hashirama gestured in the air in front of Madara, as if he was manipulating some invisible object. Spot, is this a new ninjutsu? Quinli Senju Hashirama, at Shinomiya Yuzuki, group leader, is there any way to allow Madara to see the video data in the group? A few hours later, Hashirama finally found time to return to the group. Uchiha Obito, as expected of you, the first Hokage. You are so busy with official duties that you don't even have time to reply to a message. Being a Hokage is really hard. While chatting in the group, Obito thought that Hashirama might have been working hard for a long time, and he couldn't help but laugh at himself. If it weren't for the hard work of his predecessors, how could he sit here and chat all day? Hashirama saw the message and blinked. Actually, he wasn't too busy after all. The daily management of Konoha is mainly in charge of Tobirama at this time. It was late at night, and Tobirama was still directing the ninjas to clean up the mess left by the battle between Madara and Hashirama. When he suddenly sneezed, he rubbed his tired face and continued to command, "Send a ninja over there to fill this hole." Shinomiya Yuzuki, shot aim. What happened? Hashirama briefly described what happened, from watching the video, to arguing with Madara, to trying to convince Madara. Yaoyu pondered for a moment and replied, "Shigen Yaoyu, there is a function to add people in the group. You can add Madara to watch the video directly. But this requires the group level to be upgraded to level 2 to use it, which is not possible at present. However, I have another idea. The Sharingan usually has the ability to read memories. If you let Madara read your memory, he will know everything, but please note that group chats have a protection mechanism. Non-group members who access group content without permission will be attacked by the defense mechanism. Remember not to agree to it casually. Senju Hashirama, I see. Thank you for your guidance, group leader, Minaga Shrine Ban. I found a clue, Hashirama said excitedly. Madara raised his eyebrows, his eyes full of disbelief. Just by making a few gestures in the air, evidence will fall from the sky? If you want to fool me, can you please be serious? Oh? Tell me and listen. Madara crossed his arms and put on a posture of see what else you can do. Hashirama then said, my hut contains the memories of the next few decades. You can use your Sharingan to see if it is true or not. Let me read your memory. Hashirama's suggestion surprised Madara. Reading memories means showing your inner world to the other person without any cover. This unreserved trust was incredible. Even to Madara, Yuzuki knew the unbreakable bond between Hashirama and Madara, otherwise he wouldn't have made such a suggestion. Come on, stop dawdling. Hashirama didn't seem to care. He lay down on the spot with his eyes wide open so that Madara could perform the illusion smoothly. Madara felt heavy in his heart. Hashirama didn't look like he was lying. Could all this be true? Finally, curiosity drove. The Sharingan opens, and the door to Hashirama's memory slowly opens. Mental intrusion detected. The other party tried to access the memories related to the chat group, and the protection mechanism was activated. Do you want to completely destroy the other party's mental connection? No, 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 no. Hashirama shouted hurriedly. He doesn't want Madara to become another vegetable. Konoha doesn't need two vegetable people. Protection release. Memory accessed. Madara quickly learned everything from Hashirama's memory. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. From faking his death in the Valley of the End to spending decades secretly cultivating the Rinnegan, then he transplanted the newly made Rinnegan to Nagato, controlled the Akatsuki organization, and led Obito to the darkness. Rebirth from the impure world, single-handedly challenged the five cage, reincarnate into the world, and come back to life, until he became the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, and then was attacked by Black Zetsu, sacrificed to revive Kaguya, and finally ended in tragedy. These scenes appear vividly before his eyes like a movie. It turns out that his whole life has been played around by a strange creature called Black Zetsu. Bang! Madara threw a punch with such amazing force that it directly created a hole in the Nanga shrine. How could a proud man like him accept such a hopeless future? Uchiha Madara's face was calm. Only Hashirama understands at this moment. Ben was on the verge of extreme anger. Madara looked down at Hashirama, who is still not awake, found a pen and paper and wrote something hastily, then put the note into Hashirama's hand. Then, without looking back, he walked through the big hole he had blasted open and left. Soon, Hashirama woke up from the illusion. Looking around, Ben has disappeared. Madara. Hashirama tried to call out, but all he got was silence. At this moment, he felt something tightly grasped in his hand. When I unfolded it, it was a piece of paper. After reading it, a look of sudden enlightenment appeared on Hashirama's face. That's your plan, Madara? Okay. Period. After destroying the note, Hashirama left Nanga Shrine with a new plan in mind. Chapter 6. Shopping in the mall, wood release and the body of an immortal. Only 3 minutes left. Why does time drag on so slowly at this critical moment? The clock hand slowly moved to 23:57, and every number jumped in Yaoyu's eyes, as if teasing his patience. Yaoyu's heart has already flown to the future. In the blink of an eye, 3 minutes passed. The prompt sound of the group chat sounded in my ears at the right time. Crisp and pleasant daily benefits have been received. You have successfully changed the fate of 3 group members and 1 gold coins. 1,500. Here it comes. Yaoyu felt secretly delighted. This is the exclusive privilege of the group owner. You can earn gold coins by changing the fate of group members at midnight every day. The gold coins are refreshed on time, which is a daily benefit. Not to mention that this gold coin is hard currency, and it has great power. For example, practice the art of clones to perfection. Ding. Practice completed. 50 gold coins deducted. Current clone proficiency, extraordinary and holy. In an instant, a large amount of essential knowledge about the clone technique flooded into Yaoyu's mind, as if he had practiced this most basic ninjutsu for most of his life. Clone technique. Yaoyu quickly formed seals with both hands. With a bang, a cloud of white smoke spread out, and a clone that looked exactly like Yaoyu stood firmly. Great. Yaoyu praised her new skill as the last one among the last ones. He even had trouble learning the entry-level ninja skills such as the clone technique. The one that was separated before was more like a deflated plastic model than a clone, but now, in just a few seconds, he has surpassed everyone else in his clone skills, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of the uses of gold coins. Open the gold coin wall. As soon as the thought came to mind, a virtual screen appeared in front of Yaoyu, and a wide range of goods came into view, covering all aspects of the ninja world: items, props, ninja tools, ninjutsu, pupil techniques, bloodline limits, bloodline nets, bloodline elimination, everything you need. Yaoyu glanced over and saw many familiar names. Eye technique, Sharingan, Uchiha Obito version, price, gold coins, ninjutsu, flying thunder god technique, Namikaze Minato version, price, gold coins, ninjutsu, flying thunder god technique, Senju Tobirama version, price, gold coins. Hey, the 4th generation's flying thunder god is more expensive than the 2nd generation's inventor. Yaoyu was confused, but then she suddenly realized the 2nd generation died young, and flying thunder god was not fully developed. The 4th generation was the one who used flying thunder god to perfection. You might be able to learn a few more moves by buying the Minato version, so it's reasonable that it's a bit more expensive. According to Yaoyu's current income of 1,500 gold coins a day, in about 100 days, he will be able to obtain the flying thunder god skill. It's the famous Watergate version, but I don't buy any of these. Why waste money on buying resources that are already in the group? Only a fool would do that. Spend a few days to build up your favorability, then you can just talk to Minato directly. As long as Yuzuki helped Minato, it would be no problem for him to send flying thunder god Minato-san, isn't that right? As for ninjutsu, you may be able to obtain it through favors, but for things like eye techniques and bloodline limits, you still have to pay for them no matter how close their friendship was. Yuzuki didn't believe that Obito would happily dig out his eyes and give them to him. Well, unless his life is in danger and the other person is Kakashi, then that's another matter. Haha, I'm so sleepy, I'm going to bed. Just when Yaoyu was about to fall asleep, a message suddenly popped up in the group. Interrupting his sleeping, member Senju Hashirama greatly changed the course of history. This member receives a gold coin reward of 200,000. Group owners also receive equal rewards. What the hell? Yaoyu jumped up from the bed, and the sleepiness disappeared instantly. Oh my god, 200,000 gold coins. What earth-shattering thing did this guy Hashirama do? This is the magic of group chat. In addition to Yaoyu intervening in the fate of group members, they can also rewrite their own unbearable future once successful. You will get the chat group's grand prize apparently. That's what Hashirama Senju did as the founder of Konoha village. Any changes in his era may have a significant impact on future generations. I remember that he said in the group before that he wanted to win back the misguided Madara. It seems that he did it. If Madara no longer clings to the Eye of the Moon, and wholeheartedly follows Hashirama to build Konoha with their fighting power, doesn't Konoha have the final say in the entire ninja world? How can there be such a thing as a ninja world war? No wonder the rewards are so generous. Yaoyu immediately opened the gold coin wall with full energy. I thought I would have to save up for a while before I could buy it, but now I don't have to wait. He accurately targeted the product. Do you want to purchase bloodline limit? Would release. Buy. Yaoyu pressed the confirmation button without hesitation. Purchase successful. 80,000 gold coins have been deducted. The moment the transaction was completed, Shigen Yaoyu felt an unprecedented strange energy surging in his body. This is the power of wood release. The unique escape technique from Hashirama Senju is a perfect fusion of the two chakra attributes of water and earth. It can transform chakra into the source of life and drive trees to grow wildly. Wood escape. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. With both hands quickly forming seals, Yaoyu was eager to try out the chakra that had just sprouted in her body. Click. A green blade of grass stubbornly squeezed its head out from the crack in the floor. You have mastered wood release already. Yaoyu stared at her palm with wide eyes, very excited. Although it is a world of difference compared to Hashirama Senju, this is indeed wood release. However, this power is not enough to satisfy me. Yaoyu continues to search in the gold coin wall. Soon, he found what he wanted. Sage Body, one of the 6 Path Sage bloodlines, possessing amazing chakra and recovery abilities. Price? 100,000 gold coins. Buy it. Yaoyu said nothing and generously donated money to the bank. Well, then, Yaoyu felt her body tremble violently. The body seems to be undergoing earth-shaking changes. The chakra surged out like a flood, boundless and powerful, too strong, Yaoyu clenched her fists, her whole body filled with indescribable strength. He bet that he could knock down the building with one punch. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Period. This is not an illusion. Having a fairy body not only gives you a huge amount of chakra, but also gives you a huge power called super strength. Just the initial integration of the immortal body has such a terrifying amount of chakra, and it has not yet reached the peak. Hashirama's sage body has already fully matured. No wonder his wood escape technique is so insanely strong. Yaoyu was filled with emotion. That's right, Yuzuki was referring to Hashirama Senju's personal wood release, not the wood release Kakai Genkai itself. After all, wood release itself is not particularly powerful, and the price in the mall is only 8 gold coins, which is far less expensive than the sage body. Take Yamato from Konoha for example. He is also a wood-style ninja, but his wood style is not even 1/10 of Hashirama's. What is powerful is not wood release, but the person named Hashirama Senju. Using wood release requires a huge amount of chakra. The more chakra is consumed, the more powerful the wood release becomes. As the reincarnation of Ashura, Hashirama Senju was born with the body of an immortal and almost infinite chakra, which made him the legend of the ninja world, the god of ninja. Raise your wood release proficiency to the maximum. Yaoyu gave orders with a wave of his hand, appearing to be rich and powerful. Ding. Practice completed, 10,000 gold coins deducted. Current wood release proficiency, transcendent. Hiss, it's 10,000 yuan. Yaoyu felt a dull pain in her heart as expected of the famous wood release. The price of reaching the maximum level is quite high, but the money has been spent. Yaoyu will never regret it in a blink of an eye. Yaoyu's eyes were dazed, and a lot of experience in using wood release emerged in his mind, as if he had been immersed in this field for decades now. He does not need to make hand seals to use wood release. He just claps his hands together and makes his wood release appear as he wishes. This money is really worth it. Yaoyu gave a thumbs up and praised. At this moment, Yaoyu looked down at the fragile grass. With just a thought, he could make it grow rapidly into a wooden dragon flying in the sky. I can now be considered Hashirama, right? Yaoyu said proudly. With a wood style and the sage body, he is now in Konoha, and no one can defeat him except Might Guy, who has opened the 8 gates. This is a sense of security that cannot be described in words, a calmness that stands at the top. Sleep, turn off the lights, pull up the quilt, do it in one go, and Yaoyu falls asleep quickly with a smile. Chapter 7, The Death of Akatsuki Organization. Minato arrives. The moon has fallen asleep, but someone's thoughts are still lingering in the night. Konoha village, in the 48-year timeline in the Hokage's office, even though it was late at night. The lights were still on. Minato Namikaze sat behind his desk, frowning, carefully recalling every detail of the video in the group chat. The Nine Tails Rebellion happened on October 10th, the day Naruto was born, which is still a few months away. Should we take the initiative to attack, or should we set up an ambush in advance? At this time, Obito should have been secretly controlling the Mizukage in the Land of Water. For 3 years, the Blood Mist Village carried out a large-scale purge of ninjas with bloodline limits. Should we send the Anbu to investigate the Hidden Mist Village? As his thoughts turned, Minato's eyes fell on the photo of him and Jiraiya on the table. At that moment, as if struck by thunder, a more urgent question suddenly jumped into his mind. Jiraiya had 3 disciples in the Land of Rain, Yohiko, Nagato and Konan. The Akatsuki organization, which would become famous in the ninja world in the future, was created by them, but at this time, Zio was just a small group of passionate young people who traveled together for world peace. It is far from the organization that will do whatever it takes to pursue the tailed beasts. The key to this change is the despicable act planned by Shimura Danzo. Danzo, this old man, is not a normal person. He secretly sent people to sneak into the Rain Country and kidnap Zion from the Akatsuki organization. Although he didn't take the opportunity to play with the bondage, this directly led to the death of Yohiko, the sunny and cheerful boy in the trio, and prompted Nagato to go to the dark. Nagato thus transformed himself into a god who transcended humanity and attempted to conquer the entire ninja world by force. After doing all the bad things, Danzo walked away, and Hanzo, the unlucky guy, suffered the consequences. Not only did most of his men die, but he was also killed by Pain. A few years later, Danzo was still at large until Saso killed him before the Fourth Ninja World War began. After watching what Danzo had done in Konoha over the past few decades in Yotsuki's video Namikaze, Minato wanted to kill him right now, but he definitely couldn't do these things in front of everyone in Konoha. This time, we must not let Danzo hurt them again. As for the situation, they are Jiraiya's disciples, his junior brothers. Now that he knows about it, he can't just sit there and watch. In theory, Nagato in the Akatsuki organization has mastered the Samsara Eye. Although it originated from Madara, it is currently used by Nagato, which means that there is another powerful force. The video shows that this happened not long after I became Hokage. It should be recently. Thinking of this, Minato pressed a button on the table after a Willy, a member of the Anbu, appeared in front of him. Lord Hokage, the Anbu bowed respectfully. Help me check the whereabouts of Elder Danzo. I want to know if he has left the village. Minato Namikaze gave the order as ordered. The Anbu took the order and left. After a while, the Anbu brought back the news. Your Excellency, Elder Danzo has secretly left the village, along with more than a dozen members of the root. What? When did it happen? Namikaze. Minato frowned. This is not a good sign. I left this morning. This is the record. After receiving the information, Minato Namikaze discovered that Danzo had been gone for more than 10 hours. Oops, I secretly complain in my heart. Then, Namikaze Minato's figure turned into golden light and disappeared instantly. When he appeared again, he had arrived at the entrance of Konoha village. Hokage-sama, the guard at the gate, thought it was an illusion. Why would the Hokage suddenly come patrolling in the middle of the night? Minato nodded to him, then used the instant body technique, turned into a shadow, passed through the night, and left Konoha. I must catch up. Anxiety ignited in Minato Namikaze's heart. He was unable to arrive in time when Obito died, and he was powerless to stop Rin's death this time. We must never let tragedy happen again. Rain country. This place seems to be shrouded in a deep haze all year round, with endless rain curtains. The valley between the two mountains was densely packed with Hanzo's men and members of Danzo's root, forming a tight encirclement. Hanzo stood on the top of the hill, looking down at Chihiko and his party below with an arrogant attitude. Leader of the Akatsuki organization, your end is today, and this place will be your burial place. Instigated by Danzo's eloquent words, Hanzo felt that the rapidly rising Akatsuki organization threatened his absolute rule in the Rain country. Therefore, they seized the opportunity when Konan was alone and captured her, using her as a clamp to force Chihiko and the others to self-destruct. The red-haired guy, kill Chihiko. If you kill him, this woman and you can escape alive. Hanzo casually threw a kunai, and its sharp blade stabbed right at the feet of Nagato and Chihiko, like a cruel order. When Nagato heard this, his body shook involuntarily, and an unbearable struggle surged in his heart. You want me to kill Chihiko myself? Don't listen to him, Nagato. Chihiko, leave me alone, just go. Konan cried out at the top of her lungs. Seeing that Nagato had no reaction, Hanzo said coldly, do you really not care about this woman's life or death? Period. After hearing this, Chihiko could no longer remain silent and said in a low voice, this chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Nagato, take action. Live on with my ideals firmly. Nagato's whole body was trembling. His eyes moved back and forth between Chihiko and Konan, who was in danger. His heart was in great torment. Finally, he slowly raised the kunai. Just when the tragedy seemed to be about to happen, a sharp sound suddenly rang out in the air. Ding. After a crisp sound, another kunai flew in like a gust of wind and was deeply nailed into the ground. Before everyone could react, a ray of shining golden light suddenly appeared, and in a flash, a figure appeared before their eyes that was the dazzling golden hair and the divine robe fluttering in the wind. After that it was written. The fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato, arrived at the scene at the last minute just in time. Namikaze Minato panted slightly, and rushed here from Konoha using the instant body technique. Although it consumed a lot of chakra, he was glad that he was not late. Minato Namikaze, Hanzo and Danzo exchanged shocked glances, wondering why the other party was here. What now? Hanzo was a little flustered. If he were in his prime, he might still be able to fight against a famous golden flash in the ninja world, but now, time has left its mark on him, and Minato Namikaze is in his prime, so his chances of winning are slim. Why are you panicking? How can you, a demigod, be frightened to the point of losing your composure by a junior? Danzo glanced at Hanzo coldly and said indifferently, with a hint of barely perceptible hatred flashing in his eyes, it's Minato Namikaze again. Why is it always him who ruins my plans? When the third Hokage abdicated, Orochimaru chose to betray the village and flee far away. He had a lot of competition for the position of the fourth Hokage, but a Chengyeojin, Minato Namikaze, showed up halfway. Minato's brilliant military exploits even earned him the nod of approval from the daimyo, who considered him the best successor to the Hokage. Even Danzo's attempt to stop him by saying that he was too young to take on such a heavy responsibility was futile. With the support of the daimyo, Minato successfully ascended the throne of Hokage. As a result, His dream of becoming Hokage was completely shattered. He took a step closer, questioning in his voice, "Namikaze Minato, as the Hokage, you attack the Rain country quietly at night. Are you trying to ignite a war between the two countries? Once the war reignites, you will be the instigator of the feud between the two countries." As soon as Danzo opened his mouth, it was like a sharp sword pointing directly at the other person's heart. "No matter what, put on your hat first." However, Minato did not evade the question, but threw it back. "Shouldn't you be the one to answer this, Elder Danzo? You acted without the approval of the Hokage and led your team deep into the Rain country to interfere in its internal affairs. What is your real purpose?" Minato's meaningful look made Danzo's heart tighten. Did he realize my plan to seize the Rinnegan? No. Even I only learned this information recently. How could he know it? Not long ago, Danzo ordered his men to disguise themselves as Iwagakure ninjas and provoke a conflict with the Rain ninjas in the Rain country, attempting to trigger a war between the two countries unexpectedly. The targets chosen randomly were the three leaders of the Akatsuki organization, Yohiko, Nagato and Konan. At a critical moment, Nagato activated the power of the Samsara Eye and summoned the Outer Path Demon statue to repel Danzo, but also exposed the secret of the Samsara Eye. As a result, the current situation has become that Danzo and Hanzo are trying to destroy the Akatsuki organization, while he himself is waiting for an opportunity to seize the Samsara Eye. Of course, Danzo will not confess. He angrily retorted, "What nonsense are you talking about? I have only one goal, and that is to uphold justice. The Akatsuki organization is doing evil things. As citizens of the Rain country, they are attacking their own ninjas in an attempt to expand the organization and overthrow the government of the Hidden Rain village." As soon as he finished speaking, Yohiko, who was standing behind Minato, stood up angrily and pointed at Danzo. "You are the one talking nonsense. We have never attacked any ninja from the Rain country, Hokage-sama. He is deceiving you." Yohiko was worried that Minato Namikaze would be deceived by Danzo's one-sided words, and he seemed very anxious at this moment. Their only hope lies in the sudden appearance of the fourth Hokage. Namikaze Minato turned his head and smiled gently. "Don't worry, my two junior brothers. I will definitely seek justice for you, Master." Junior brother. Minato's address made Yohiko and Nagato slightly stunned. "Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas, is also my teacher." After hearing Minato's explanation, Yohiko suddenly realized, "So you are the outstanding senior brother that the teacher mentioned. The teacher often mentioned you. He said that in front of you, any genius would pale in comparison. I didn't expect that my senior brother is the fourth Hokage of Konoha village. He is so amazing," Yohiko said while giving a thumbs up. Now, the heavy stone in his heart has finally fallen. Anyone who has anything to do with Jiraiya must be right. Chapter 8, Saving the Akatsuki organization and killing Danzo. After calming down Yohiko and Nagato, Minato turned his attention to Danzo on the top of the mountain. "Elder Danzo, I have confirmed that this is a misunderstanding. Okay, take your people back to the village first. I'll take care of this." Minato said this lightly, but these words made Danzo's face darken like the dark clouds before a storm. Go? He was only one step away from the legendary Samsara Eye. How could he be willing to give up? "Namikaze Minato, are you saying that the lives of the Rain country ninjas were lost in vain just because of your few words?" Danzo still holds on to the fictitious charges and is obsessed with Akatsuki. Seeing that Danzo was still insisting on this matter with this unfounded reason, Namikaze Minato's face immediately turned cold, and he showed no mercy, not even calling him elder, but directly calling him by his name. "Shimura Danzo, I don't want to waste time talking. You know best how the Rain ninja died. Now, as the Hokage, I order you to take your men back to Konoha immediately." This was equivalent to tearing apart the superficial piece. Danzo's face instantly turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. He glared angrily at Hanzo next to him. "You so-called demigod, people are running wild in front of your house and you dare not even say a word." He wants to win over Hanzo and attack the Akatsuki organization together. Just as Hanzo was about to speak, Minato's voice rang out again. "Mr. Hanzo, this is an internal matter of our Konoha. It is best for you not to interfere. There is a warning hidden in these words. You can watch, but if you take action, you will have to pay the price." Hanzo weighed the pros and cons and decided to play it safe. "I also think this is a misunderstanding. Well, I'll take my leave now. You guys should handle the rest by yourselves." After saying that, Hanzo led his men away without hesitation. "You?" Danzo couldn't believe it. Was this still the demigod who dominated the ninja world? How could he be frightened by a junior? Hearing Danzo's voice, Hanzo just snorted coldly. "Just kidding. I thought Akatsuki was a small organization with no powerful people. and it was still worth bullying, but they have the support of the fourth Hokage, so why fight, just for the lives of a few so-called reigning ninjas? Just talking, don't take it seriously, brother. Once Hanzo left, Danzo had to face Minato Namikaze alone, but he obviously overestimated his own strength and underestimated Minato. Don't use the title of Hokage to pressure me. You are just a junior who climbed to the throne of Hokage with a few achievements. Today I will punish the evil and eliminate the Akatsuki organization, Danzo declared. Minato lowered his eyes slightly and uttered only one word, "Oh." Before he finished speaking, a sharp kunai was silently pressed against Danzo's throat, ready to open a bloody path for him at any time. Period. What? Danzo was stunned. He was clearly on guard the whole time. How is it possible? Doesn't Flying Thunder God need to be marked in advance before teleporting? He was clearly on guard against this. Master Danzo, the attendant exclaimed. The root members around were all shocked. They had not noticed Minato Namikaze's silent approach after waking up. Everyone drew their swords and approached Minato step by step, their eyes full of fierceness, not taking the Hokage seriously at all. Don't move, Danzo shouted at his men. Damn, these idiots, are you trying to kill me by coming here at this time? When exactly did you? Danzo gritted his teeth, stared at Minato, and spoke with disbelief, but Namikaze Minato obviously had no intention of explaining. His face was as cold as ice. Shimura Danzo, you have openly disobeyed the Hokage's orders. I have the right to kill you on the spot. I'll give you one last chance, leave immediately, otherwise you will bear the consequences. Feeling the cold murderous aura on his neck, Danzo couldn't help but sweat. Since Minato Namikaze became Hokage, he always had a smile on his face. Danzo had never seen such a terrifying murderous intent emerge from him. Despite this, Danzo still had a glimmer of hope in his heart, believing that Minato would not dare to attack him. I am the elder of Konoha, I don't believe you dare to kill me. Danzo's face turned pale, but he still insisted. Namikaze Minato chuckled and responded to Danzo's doubts with his actions. The sharp kunai went straight to Danzo's throat. Danzo's pupils shrank suddenly, and he dodged quickly. You? Danzo covered his bloody throat with his eyes full of disbelief. If he hadn't reacted quickly, the kunai would have pierced his throat. He really dares to take action. Lord Danzo. All the root members immediately gathered around Danzo and pointed their weapons at Minato Namikaze. As long as Danzo gives the order, they will attack the nominal leader without hesitation. However, Danzo stopped them. This was not out of a guilty conscience, but because he knew that even if they all went out, they would never be a match for Minato Namikaze. This is the true power of Golden Flash. Retreat. Danzo glared at Minato Namikaze fiercely, with hatred in his eyes. Because of this person, he had to give up the Samsara that was about to be obtained. Danzo led the root organization and others away. Namikaze Minato just glanced at them and did not interfere too much. He retracted his kunai and turned around to help the purple-haired girl up. Are you okay? Minato Namikaze reappeared, his signature smile on his face. No, it's okay. Thank you, Hokage-sama. This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Xiaonan was somewhat flattered. The person in front of her was the shadow of a country, high up in the sky, yet he treated her so kindly. Xiaonan. The excited Yuhiko pulled the hurried Nagato towards them. He thought I was going to die today, but I didn't expect the unexpected appearance of my senior brother, the Hokage, so powerful it's terrifying. Just standing there, Hanzo, who is known as a demigod, was frightened to death. Thank you, Minato-san. Yuhiko thanked him again. Minato nodded slightly and chuckled. Compared to me, I think she may need your company more. Xiaonan, Yuhiko, Nagato Akatsuki trio reunites. Looking at this warm scene, Minato did not disturb them, but just quietly left. He took out the Flying Thunder God kunai and disappeared in the blink of an eye. It's time to deal with Danzo. The reason why I didn't take action directly before was, one reason is that traveling has used up too much chakra, and it takes time to recover. Second, through Yuzuki's video, Minato learned that Danzo held a trump card called the four-symbol seal. If we push him too far, it might harm Yuhiko and the others. Therefore, Minato temporarily let Danzo go, but even if you could live a few more minutes, what would it matter? Somewhere in the land of rain, a secret path runs through the dense jungle, connecting the Leaf Village. Danzo and his group were like Tarzan, jumping quickly between the tall trees, eager to return to Konoha. Namikaze Minato. Danzo gritted his teeth, the anger in his heart almost bursting out of his chest. Just wait for me. He secretly vowed that he would never be someone who could tolerate hatred without taking revenge. Humph, no matter what your purposes, you dare to attack the elders of Konoha. Even the identity of Hokage cannot stop me from seeking justice from the daimyo. Danzo thought to himself. Perhaps, This is an opportunity to make him fall from the throne of Hokage, or Orochimaru has defected. Jiraiya and Tsunade are not in the village. Then, in the entire Konoha, besides me, who else can stand up and take on the responsibility of being the Hokage? Thinking of this, Danzo couldn't help but sneer. This series of events seems to be a blessing in disguise, not necessarily all misfortune. Just as he was intoxicated with a fantasy of becoming a Hokage in the future, his subordinates in front of him suddenly stopped. What's going on? Danzo frowned when he stopped. He was surprised to find that Minato Namikaze had stood on the top of the giant tree in front of him, staring at them expressionlessly. Danzo became alert and looked around. Suddenly, as expected, flying thunder god Kune were scattered all over the nearby trees, and they were already in the center of this deadly weapon's encirclement. Cold sweat rolled down Danzo's forehead. He had a terrible idea. Namikaze, Minato, you... Before he could finish his words, everything came to an abrupt end. Danzo's twisted face drew a cruel arc in the air. Death came, and his eyes were full of disbelief. He couldn't accept that Minato Namikaze was so resolute. How dare he do this? Does he really think that Konoha can be controlled by him? Danzo closed his eyes forever with endless reluctance in front of the golden flash. Everything seemed too fragile, and there was not even a chance to resist. Lord Danzo, the root members around them were about to burst their eyes, and then they drew their weapons and attacked Namikaze Minato in unison. But it was only a moment. Golden light flashed, 80% of the people fell to the ground, and the remaining few trembled and dared not move. Hokage, how dare you attack Danzo-sama? The third Sama will not forgive you, a root member shouted almost frantically. Namikaze Minato glanced at him lightly and said calmly, it's simple. If no one can get out of here alive, no one will know the truth. The man's pupils suddenly dilated. Such words actually came from the mouth of Minato Namikaze? Is he really the legendary hero? Blame it on this cancer, Danzo. Namikaze Minato's voice sounded from behind, and then the root member fell silent forever after witnessing this scene. The remaining root members completely lost their will to fight and fled in all directions. Minato raised a Kune, flying thunder god jutsu. Soon, there was no more sound in the forest, and all life disappeared after Minato cleaned up the battlefield. Shimura Danzo, the root of Konoha, completely disappeared from this world. Period. Chapter 9. Your little golden-haired girl is online. Jingle bell. As soon as the alarm clock opened its throat, a lazy hand suddenly reached out and instantly killed its noise. Then, Shigen Yaoi turned over and continued to indulge in sleep. Time passed slowly, and the sun gradually climbed to the center of the sky until, boom boom boom, open the door. Open the door, hey. Are you still sleeping? It's already noon. Knocking on the door and shouting followed Shigen Yaoi, who suddenly opened his hazy eyes and muttered, ugh. Although he was extremely reluctant, Yaoi still dragged his lazy body to get up and completed his morning routine of washing, brushing his teeth, etc. Just when the knocking on the door was about to turn into a bang on the door, he leisurely pulled the bolt. 10 full minutes. If you were any slower, I would have thought something happened in your room. When the door opened, a delicate face like jade jumped into the eyes. Her green eyes sparkled with agility. Her long golden hair was tied up in a ponytail. Although she looked a little childish, it was undeniable that Yamanaka Aino was already a little beauty. As neighbors who grew up together, Yuzuki's home is above the Aino family flower shop. They knew each other a long time ago. Aino, don't you know that today is a holiday? Why are you disturbing my sweet dreams? Yaoyu said this and turned to go back to the house. Aino followed closely behind, closing the door behind her, and said helplessly, the graduation exam is just around the corner. How are you going to graduate if you don't even know the most basic techniques of stand, transformation, and clone? Yaoyu slumped on the sofa, looking relaxed and contented. Why are you in such a hurry? We still have Naruto at the bottom. Aino shook her head helplessly. Why are you comparing yourself to him? His father is. When the words came to her lips, Aino suddenly realized that she had said something wrong and stopped talking. Anyway, don't just lie there, get up and practice. I thought of a little trick last night that will definitely help you understand the three-body technique better. Just as she was talking excitedly, Aino's face fell because she realized that Yaoi was not listening at all. Shigen Yuzuki. Aino grabbed Yuzuki by the collar, but before Aino could get angry, Yutsuki grabbed her hand with a strange light in her eyes. SHH, stop it, I'm rich again. What nonsense are you talking about again? Come, sit down, I'll tell you later. Yutsuki pulled Aino back to the sofa. While he stared at the empty air in front of him, it's really baffling. Yuzuki turned a deaf ear to Aino's complaints. His attention was completely focused on the virtual chat screen in front of him. Just now, a message popped up in the group. Ling, You have new unread messages. Member Namake's Minato greatly changed the course of history. Reward this member with gold coins. Group owners receive the same amount of rewards. Wonderful Shinomiya Yuzuki was overjoyed, and her wallet, which had just been empty, suddenly became full thanks to Watergate. Shinomiya Yuzuki at Namake's Minato in the chat group. Yondame, what good things did you do last night? A lot of gold coins suddenly appeared in the group chat. Konoha 48th year. As soon as he stepped out of the border of the Hidden Rain village, Namake's Minato followed closely behind Yurihiko. Konan and Nagato Minato made a decision to take the three of them back to Konoha village. After all, Konoha not only has a superior environment and abundant resources, but is also the best in the ninja world. Their safety and growth can be best guaranteed. So, the Akatsuki organization disbanded naturally after this series of events. Yurihiko's dream of achieving peace through non-violent means was almost shattered, and he simply chose to trust Minato's arrangement. The original members of the Akatsuki organization were transferred to Hanzo's command. Hanzo no longer has any competitors, and now has more fighting power, so he is naturally happy to see it happen and took this opportunity to form an alliance with Konoha brother Minato. What's wrong? Yurihiko asked curiously when he saw Namake's Minato suddenly stop. It's okay, let's keep going. Minato smiled gently in return, but was slightly startled by Otsutsuki's glancing at the question in the group. Minato thought about it and decided to tell the truth. After all, this prediction was all thanks to Yuzuki. Namake's Minato, Master Yuzuki, thanks to the revelation of the future in your video, I was able to save Yurihiko in advance and deal with Danzo. Yuiyu was amazed when she saw the reply. Shinomiya Yuzuki, wow, the action is max. No wonder the reward is so generous. It turns out it's because of saving Yurihiko. Once Yurihiko dies, it means that pain will soon enter the historical stage and affect the plot of the entire ninja world. He survived, and he changed more than a little. As for that old guy Danzo, Yuzuki just wants to say good thing he died. This guy never does good things. Shinomiya Yuzuki, Minato, have you figured out how to spend those 100,000 gold coins? Namake's Minato, gold coins? Where did the gold coins come from? Shinomiya Yuzuki, just check your email and you'll know. Soon, Minato found out the origin of the gold coins and couldn't wait to open the gold coin wall even as a hawkage. He was shocked by the dazzling array of goods in the mall. While browsing, Minato discovered a shocking product. The 9-tailed demon fox Kirama, and the other 8-tailed beasts. You can buy the tailed beasts. Minato found it unbelievable. Obviously, he needs to re-evaluate the ability of this group leader. The establishment of a cross-time chat group was already amazing enough, and now even the tailed beasts that symbolize disaster can be traded as commodities. Namake's Minato, Master Yuzuki, if I buy a tailed beast, won't there be 2 identical tailed beasts in my world? Shinomiya Yuzuki, that's right. Namake's Minato could only sigh. This is unbelievable and then exit the mall. He doesn't have anything in particular to look forward to at the moment the conversation ended, and Yaoi returned to reality when he looked up. A pair of delicate feet almost touched his face at some point. Aino also lay down on the sofa, resting her head on the armrest at the other end. Yaoi lay in the middle and naturally became a human footpad. Yaoi looked at him for a while and grinned. Wow, why didn't I notice before? Your feet are quite beautiful. Disc Jade feet. Hearing this, Aino lowered her head and glared at him fiercely, then lightly kicked Yotsuki shamefully. He said, you are such a pervert. Yaoi straightened her back suddenly and suggested, hey, I have an idea. You have 2 legs and I have a mouth. How about we? Aino quickly pulled her legs back, her face full of disgust. You're really disgusting. I mean to make some pickled cabbage to eat. After all, only the authentic pickled cabbage is the one that has been stepped on. I give up on you. You're so dishonest. Aino rolled her eyes. Chapter 10, Cheating, X, Genius? Period. Aino sat up straight, not because she was worried that Yuzuki would do something weird. She was just wondering, how could Yaoi become a completely different person in just a short while? You've changed so much, it feels like your souls have swapped places. Aino looked Yotsuki up and down, eyes full of doubt. In the past, when the two of them were together, Yaoi was always very reserved. Aino was the main person in charge of most of the conversations, with Yotsuki occasionally responding. Such an active and relaxed atmosphere as today is unprecedented. Shinomiya Yuzuki grinned and said half-jokingly, actually, I have always been like this, but you were young before, and I was afraid that if I said this, you would be taken away by the Anbu uncle. Aino rolled her eyes and muttered to herself, who would believe that? Who could pretend for more than 10 years? Only Yaoi knew that this change came from confidence in the days when there were no plugins. He was a real tail-ender, and Aino is the daughter of the Yamanaka family, a typical white, rich and beautiful woman. He knew that Aino was interested in him, but he had neither talent nor background. Why delay someone's bright future? But now it's different. With a plug-in, it's possible for a small ninja world to dominate, so when facing Aino, he naturally no longer felt uneasy. Okay, stop talking nonsense, come, let's practice the basic 3-body technique first. Aino stood up and reached out to Yotsuki, who was curled up on the sofa, trying to pull him up. Yuyu smiled and stretched out a hand, placing it on Aino's palm. At this time, he suddenly said, Aino, look at this. Aino looked at him suspiciously. The next second, Yuyu started to form seals with her other hand, and her movements were as fast as lightning. There was a slight bang sound. A perfect clone appeared beside him. Aino was completely stunned. She looked at Yuyu's calm smile, and then at the clone that looked exactly like Yuyu, shocked beyond words. One hand seal. To form hand seals with one hand, that can only be done if one is extremely familiar with a ninjutsu. Hasn't Yuyu always been the last one in the class? Suddenly, Aino felt someone tap her shoulder. She instinctively turned back. What caught my eye was Yuyu's handsome smiling face. What? Why are you here? Then, Aino turned her head and found that the hand she was holding had turned into a piece of wood. Yuyu on the sofa also disappeared. Substitution technique? When did you use it? I didn't even see the seals being made. Yuyu, you? Aino turned around again to find out what was going on, but found no one behind her at this moment. She felt a warm sensation in her palms and turned her head again. The wood in her hand disappeared, and Yuyu's hand returned to her. Shigen Yuyu was still lying there, looking at her with a sly smile on his face. Hiss. Aino pulled her hand back abruptly and rubbed her cheek in disbelief. She was so excited that she saw Yuyu become a genius who mastered the 3-body technique. You can do all the clone jutsu, substitution jutsu, transformation jutsu. And you are so skilled at it. Yuyu raised her eyebrows and said proudly, of course. Just now, he spent a small amount of 100 gold coins to increase the proficiency of transformation and substitution. You are so proud of yourself. Aino slapped Yuzuki on the forehead. Then why are you pretending to be the last one? Do you feel happy being laughed at in class every day? Yuyu spread her hands and said, you misunderstood. I am just considering Naruto's feelings. Naruto is lonely to begin with. I accompany him to make him less lonely. As for those who make fun of him, let them say whatever they want. In the future, when Naruto and I's names shake the entire ninja world, they may still be wandering in the circle of unknown people. Of course, the existence of the chat group cannot be disclosed, so Yuyu made up a reasonable reason. A genius who has hidden his talent since childhood is always easier to accept than a loser who suddenly makes a comeback. And Aino actually believed that she knew that Yuzuki and Naruto had been good friends since childhood, but she didn't expect him to do this for Naruto. She looked at Yuyu, who was picking her nose leisurely, the image of a man who hid his talent to avoid hurting his friend's self. A steam gradually became clear in her mind. I never knew you had such a considerate side. Aino was touched, but is it worth it for you to do this? To sacrifice your reputation for your friends? Yuyu sat up straight on the sofa and said with a relaxed smile, I know whether it's worth it or not. Naruto, although he is usually careless, his dreams are more passionate than anyone else's. I just helped him to resist the cynicism before he could shine. Moreover, Yuyu's eyes became deep. A truly strong person would not mind temporary gains and losses. I am no longer the last one in the past. It's time to let everyone see my true strength. Shigen Yuyu slowly clenched his fist, as if the world was in his palm. Ouch! Before she finished speaking, Aino's foot had already touched Yuzuki's butt. Look how beautiful you are. Come on, since you don't have to practice ninjutsu, let's go out and play. We can't stay at home all day. After jumping out of Yotsuki's house, Shigen Yotsuki dragged Aino straight to Naruto's nest. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Hey, Naruto, what are you doing? Come out and hang out for a while. Yuyu stuck her head out and peeked in through the window. At this moment, Naruto was fiddling with his lunch, a bucket of instant noodles that was about to expire. Hearing Yotsuki's call, Naruto looked up and a huge smile instantly broke out on his face. Yotsuki, why are you here? I'm here to have fun with you. Hey, why instant noodles again? Come on, stop eating that. I'll take you to a good meal. Yuyu frowned and then greeted. Great. Long live Yuyu. Naruto immediately threw down his instant noodles and jumped out of the room happily. Shinomiya Yuzuki looked at Aino, then at Naruto. You two are very familiar with each other, so I won't be the middleman. That's right, Aino-san is the top student in our class. Naruto grinned and gave a thumbs up. That's all. Aino waved her hands embarrassedly. Appearing very humble, Yuzuki hugged Naruto's neck while walking. I found a new restaurant. It's really interesting. Let's go try it out. Also, Naruto, if you keep eating these worthless things, be careful not to get a stomachache. Naruto touched his nose and said, the main reason is that they're cheap. I can buy a lot of them for 500 yen. Yaoi stared at him seriously. Don't touch these anymore. Come to my house for dinner. Before the cheat was turned on, Yuzuki didn't dare to get too close to Naruto after all. These two old guys, Danzo and that stubborn Sandame, are really ruthless. If they misunderstand that Otsutsuki has some bad intentions in approaching Naruto, then he will be in big trouble. Maybe one day when I was walking on the street at night, I would disappear from the world completely. Period. Chapter 11, Hitting the Smiling Man. But now, the situation is very different. He no longer cared about the two old men, so naturally he would not treat them badly the first day after obtaining wood release. I will protect Konoha. The second day after obtaining wood release, I will protect my Konoha. Do whatever you want. Whatever you want. This isn't appropriate. They all call me a fox monster. Naruto was excited, but also a little hesitant. It's okay to go there once in a while, but if I always go to his house, what if I'm seen by those with ulterior motives? Will they also start to exclude Yaoi? He didn't want his only friend to suffer the same fate as himself, being pointed at and criticized by others. However, Shigen Yaoi disagreed and said, to me, there are two kinds of people in this world. Do you know which two kinds they are? Which two? Naruto asked curiously. Ino also pricked up her ears. She seemed to have never heard Yaoi say this before. Yaoi smiled. One is an insignificant ant, and the other is a friend. Do you think I care what the ants think? As soon as these words came out, Ino and Naruto were stunned on the spot. So Chunabum. You guy, who taught you the kind of rhetoric? Ino shouted in despair. With goosebumps all over her body, Naruto also twitched, and the corners of his mouth rose uncontrollably. Not buddy, I thought Uchiha Madara was quite handsome when he said that, but why does it become Chunabuniga when it comes to me? Yaoi felt helpless. However, Ino and Naruto in front of him seemed a little embarrassed. Alright, stop playing around and go eat. Yaoi quickly changed the subject and walked ahead as if running away. Ino sighed. Yaoi has now transformed into a funny person. Naruto was laughing secretly behind his back, covering his mouth. 10 minutes later, the three of them stopped in front of a popular restaurant. The name of the shop is Bai Nayao. What is striking is that most of the customers here come in pairs, and few people come to dine alone. The reason is simple. The characteristic of this restaurant is that couples can enjoy 20% discount. This is it. Although I haven't tried the taste yet, I'm very happy to get a discount. Yuzuki was quite satisfied with her choice and didn't notice the subtle changes on Ino and Naruto's faces behind her. Ino crossed her arms and said with a slightly teasing tone, they said there's a couple discount. Do you have a partner? Singles don't get this benefit. Mr. Yuzuki Shinomiya, a lonely man. Yaoi turned around suddenly and stared at her with an indescribable look. How do you know I didn't? That look made Ino feel uncomfortable. What? Are you planning to do something to me? I'm telling you, that's wishful thinking. Ino snorted and turned her head away. When Yaoi saw Ino's awkward look, she couldn't help but burst out laughing. Okay, then you just stand here and continue to be so arrogant. Naruto and I will go in first. Huh? Naruto was stunned. Come on, Naruto, don't just stand there. Yaoi winked at Naruto. Shall we go eat? Just follow along. Yaoi dragged the embarrassed Naruto into the restaurant. Ino's eyes widened. You guys, she couldn't believe it. These two people were really serious. In the restaurant, the two sat down and the waiter gently placed a menu on the table. What would you like to taste? The waiter asked with a smile. Please give us 2 servings of the one hard set meal. Thank you. The meal Yaoi ordered was the set meal that was specially discounted for couples. This can only be ordered by a couple. The waiter looked at the two young boys, Yaoi and Naruto, and kindly reminded them obviously, we are. Yaoi took advantage of the situation and hugged Naruto, and the action was intimate. The waiter was speechless and left quietly. Soon, the shop owner was asked to come out, and the two were unceremoniously asked to leave. Little devils, stop messing with me, woohoo. Take off. Yuzuki and Naruto flew across the sky in a perfect parabola and landed right in front of Ino's feet. Yuzuki looked up and forced out a slightly awkward but still polite smile. Hi, Ino. A symbol appeared on Ino's forehead, and her face was full of displeasure. She grabbed Yaoi by the collar and said, how embarrassing. Naruto huddled aside and laughed secretly even though his body was shaken all over the place. Yaoi still did not forget to use his clever brain and became the king of ideas. I have a new idea. I guarantee it will work this time, Naruto. Don't you know that transformation technique? Try it. There will be no problem this time. Naruto felt a little shy after hearing this. Forget it. When Ino heard Yuzuki's new suggestion, her eyes suddenly went dark. What bad idea are you thinking of again? How can this be considered a bad idea? Even the third Hokage approves of Naruto's transformation technique. Get out of here. Ino held his forehead helplessly. I really can't do anything about you. I'll go in with you, okay? In order to prevent Shinomiya from doing anything embarrassing again, the idea of 3 bedrooms and 1 living room was Ino had no choice but to bite the bullet. Hearing this, Yaoyu's eyes lit up. It would have been over earlier. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Ino didn't say a word, just gritted her teeth and kicked him. Yaoyu patted her butt, stood up, dusted herself off, and walked in the opposite direction of the restaurant. Yuzuki, you're going the wrong way, Naruto reminded. No. I've taken care of it here. Now it's time to solve your problem. Yaoyu smiled slightly and strode forward. The end of the road he was walking straight ahead was the residence of the famous bloodline limit family in Konoha village, the Hyuga clan, who were good at pupil technique. Byakugan Naruto is very slow when it comes to love and romance. Hinata had already shown it clearly, but he still couldn't react. It was not until the 4th Ninja World War was over that he knew to confess his feelings. But now that Shinomiya is here, of course he has to add fuel to the fire. Just as a favor to his good brother, Ino and Naruto were confused and didn't know what was going on. But they could only follow closely. The 3 of them arrived at a gate of the Hyuga clan. In front of the magnificent gate, a Hyuga ninja on duty was sitting. Otsutsuki greeted politely with a smile on her face. Hello, we are here to look for Hinata. Looking for Hinata? Ino was confused for a moment. Naruto seemed to have remembered something and was at a loss. Yatsuki, are you going to ask Hinata to come and pretend to be a couple with me and have dinner? Period. Although he and Hinata had met several times when they were young and had helped each other several times, he felt that Hinata should not have such a good relationship with him. Right, just when Naruto was considering whether to give up Yatsuki's idea, suddenly, a disdainful voice sounded, interrupting his thoughts. Go away, little brat, where did you come from? Can you see Miss Hinata whenever you want? Go back to where you came from. After saying that, the Hyuga ninja waved his hands, signaling them to get out of here. Yuzuki's smile froze. Didn't we agree not to hit someone who smiles at us? Why do I just reach out and beat up the smiling person? Chapter 12. First attack. What the hell? Did I go to the wrong set? Could this place have become the territory of the Uchiha clan? Why are you so arrogant when you speak? Did your ancestor also produce Uchiha Madara, who was so powerful in the ninja world? Hey, what a coincidence. I just learned would release. Can I stand this? Yuzuki smiled with a fake smile, rolled up his sleeves, and prepared to show this Hyuga ninja what the god of ninja is. Boy, at this time, Ino suddenly pulled him back and whispered, calm down, I'll ask. As she spoke, Ino stepped forward and said, I'm Yamanaka Ino, we're Hinata's classmates, and I'm here to hang out with her. Can you ask her to come out and meet me? However, the Hyuga ninja looked impatient. How many times do I need to say it? What about the mountain clan, Ms.? Hinata has so many classmates. Does she have to be present for every visitor? If you have nothing to do, get out of the way. Ino's face darkened. As a famous family in Konoha, why were the Hyuga clan so arrogant and rude? Yaoi narrowed her eyes. Hyuga and Uchiha are known as the 2 major Ijutsu families in Konoha, but for a long time, Uchiha has always been superior to Hyuga. Now that the Uchiha clan has been destroyed, the pressure on Hyuga has been reduced, and the arrogance and conceit that has been pent up for a long time has begun to show. I came to talk to him. Yatsuki pulled Ino behind him, rolled up his sleeves, and stared at the Hyuga guard with ill intent. The guard was disgusted when he saw this unknown kid coming forward again. I've already told you, hurry up. The word go was not uttered in his white pupils. The pattern on the sole of a shoe was rapidly enlarged. Bang! What? With a scream, the guard was kicked away by Yaoyu's flying kick, and he went straight through the door, leaving a human-shaped hole. Ino and Naruto widened their eyes. They didn't expect Yaoyu to actually do it. Moreover, he knocked the man away with one move, so fast that they could hardly see Yaoyu's movements. This guy is so powerful. Yaoyu, you've stirred up a hornet's nest. Follow me now and hide in my house first. Ino came to her senses and hurriedly pulled Yatsuki up, preparing to retreat to the Yamanaka clan's territory to avoid a storm. The Hyuga clan is the #1 family in Konoha village now. Yatsuki's disturbance is like a slap in the face to the Hyuga clan in public. The Hyuga clan will never let it go. Yaoyu gently held down Ino's anxious hands, with a calm smile on her face. Don't worry, it'll be fine, trust me. But, before Ino could finish her words, she was interrupted by a sudden roar. Who dares to hurt anyone from our Hyuga clan? In the blink of an eye, the afterimage flashes, several Hyuga clan ninjas appeared out of thin air and surrounded Yaoyu and his group. Minato Kinshiki glanced at the destroyed gate and felt angry. The gate was destroyed, which was a disgrace to the Hyuga family. Even if they can get compensation afterwards, they will inevitably be severely reprimanded by the main family. Who did it? Minato Kinshiki shouted angrily. I did it. Yaoyu took a step forward calmly and answered you. Minato Kinshiki gave him a questioning look. Where did you come from, little brat? Go cool off somewhere else. Minato Kinshiki obviously didn't believe what Yaoyu said. As a guard of the Hyuga family, Minato she is at the level of a chunin. Even if he is the lowest level, Otsutsuki looks like she hasn't even graduated from the ninja academy yet, let alone has the ability to hurt a guard unless he is an unparalleled genius like Kakashi or Uchiha Itachi. But how is that possible? Hey, are you looking down on me? Yaoyu never expected to get such a reaction at this moment. The injured Hinata was helped out, with a very obvious red shoe print on his face. Minato Kinshiki hurriedly went to meet him as he, who did it? What does the other person look like? He thought the attacker had fled after injuring Hinata, and did not consider Otsutsuki and the others as suspects at all. Hinata's fingers trembled, and he pointed at Yuzuki with anger. It's him. That kick just now almost sent him to hell. He never dreamed that this half-grown boy would be so strong. Minato Kinshiki was stunned and immediately became furious. What a rare talent, but no matter what your reasons are, I must take you down today, otherwise where is the dignity of the Hyuga family? Do it. Minato Kinshiki gave an order, and the people behind him immediately took soft fists and surrounded Yaoyu from all directions. Yaoyu, be careful, Ino warned loudly. Naruto rushed over directly, wanting to lend a hand. Boom, boom. However, in the blink of an eye, those Hyuga ninjas flew backwards like meteors, accompanied by a loud rumbling sound. There are several more big holes on the door of the Hyuga family. Everyone looked at Yaoyu in astonishment. What kind of strength is this? Defeating 4 chunins in the blink of an eye. Ino's eyes sparkled with admiration. This guy is too strong. Naruto opened his mouth wide. Is this still the guy who is the last one in the competition with me for several years? You want to arrest people without asking any questions? This is the way big families like you act? Isn't it too overbearing? Yaoyu brushed off the dust on his shoulders and looked up at Hyuga Kaiatsu. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Minato Kinshiki raised his eyebrows. He had a feeling that today's matter might not be easily resolved. He took a deep breath and softened his tone. Can anyone tell me what happened? This statement showed that his attitude had softened. Genius is the one who gets preferential treatment. Hey, uncle, we just wanted to have some fun with Hinata, but that guy was rude and insulted us, and Yuzuki couldn't stand it anymore, so we taught him a lesson. Naruto stood up and told the truth. Is it? Minato Kinshiki cast a look and confirmed the truth with Hinata's eye facing everyone's gaze. Hinata blushed and said stubbornly, bullshit. When did I ever say such a thing? Really? Then it seems I need to help you recall your memories. Shigen Yaoyu is ready to fight, with a bad look. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Period. Wait. Seeing this, Hinata immediately got scared and took a few steps back. I admit that I did say a little, but you can't just do it directly. Well, seeing Hinata like this, Minato Kinshiki knew what was going on. If the other party was a commoner with no power or background, they could turn black into white, and naturally deal with it casually. But now the other party has a member of the Yamanaka clan and a young genius like Shinomiya Yuzuki, so this matter can only be the fault of their Hyuga clan. Minato Kinshiki suppressed his anger and asked Hinata to admit his mistake. I'm sorry, this is my fault. Not enough. That guy also needs to apologize. Shinomiya Yuzuki points to the Hyuga clear Ponju. Minato Kinshiki's eyes were wide open. Isn't this a bit too much? Hurry up, you just attacked me without asking the reason. If I didn't have some strength, would I have been defeated by you? Shigen Yaoyu urged. Sorry. Finally, Minato Kinshiki gritted his teeth and said reluctantly, that's pretty much it. Okay, I'll forgive you this time. Shigen Yuzuki smiled generously. Chapter 13. The sun is still alive. 7 wolves. Just when things were about to end. What's going on here? A powerful voice suddenly sounded. Interrupting the tranquility of the scene, everyone turned their heads and focused their attention on the dilapidated door. They saw a dignified and steady middle-aged man walking out, followed by three small figures. He is the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hayashi, with his two daughters, the gentle Hinata and the lively Hanabi, and the genius boy Hyuga Niji from the branch family chief. Hinata Kinshiki and the others hurriedly bowed respectfully, and then recounted the entire incident in detail. At this moment, Hinata's eyes quietly fell on Naruto behind Yuzuki, and from that moment on, her eyes never left him, and Naruto seemed to have a telepathic connection, and happened to turn his head and look, and the two of them met eyes. Naruto grinned, as bright as the sun, which instantly dyed Hinata's cheeks with two red clouds. Naruto-kun, at the same time. Hinata Hayashi has also heard the whole story. His eyes turned to Shinomiya, who is about the same age as his daughter, and a hint of appreciation flashed in his eyes. With the power of one person, he instantly defeated 4 Chunins with outstanding physical skills. This strength should not be underestimated. I thought to myself, maybe in the future there will be another elite Jonin who can stand shoulder to shoulder with Hatake Kakashi. I am the head of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hayashi. Can you tell me your name? Hinata Hayashi walked forward slowly, forcing a rather unnatural smile on his face. It was obvious that he was not used to smiling. Shinomiya Yuzuki answered briefly. He didn't know that the Hyuga clan leader actually rated his potential as 1 card. Yuzuki-kun, I already know what happened. We were in the wrong. I apologize to you, Hinata Hayashi said sincerely. You are too polite, Hyuga clan leader. You don't have to apologize in person. It's the fault of those two guys. Shigen Yaoyu smiled and said, he is a person who always responds to softness but not hardness. I heard that you are here to invite Hinata to go out and play? Of course there is no problem. At your age, you should go out and enjoy the joy of youth more often. After that, Hyuga Hayashi pulled Hinata over and asked her to stand in front of the crowd. Come here, Hinata. This is your classmate, right? Since we are in the same class, you should communicate more in the future. Hyuga Hayashi gently pushed Hinata, who shyly stepped forward. Yuzuki was quick-witted and made Naruto appear in everyone's sight. Hinata, long time no see. Naruto scratched his head embarrassedly. Looking adorable, Hinata walked to Naruto's side. Too embarrassed to look up, she just lowered her head and called Naruto's name softly. Haha, everyone is here, let's go. Let's go eat. Yaoi waved her hand and walked towards the restaurant. First Ino followed closely behind. Finally it ended successfully. Today was really exciting and tense. Naruto and Hinata followed behind. Hinata was quiet most of the time, only nodding in response to Naruto's words occasionally. As the 4 people gradually moved away, Hyuga Hayashi suddenly waved to Hyuga Kinshiki on the side. Chief, what do you want me to do? Go check out that Shigen Yuzuki. How could I not have heard of such a genius before? Find out more about him. Hinata Kinshi's eyes lit up. Chief, are you going to find a chance for revenge? Hinata Hayashi's face darkened, and he slapped Hinata Kinshi away with his backhand. Idiot, I naturally want to make friends with a genius like this. Maybe I'll have a chance to invite him to join the Hyuga clan in the future. Don't mess it up for me. After finishing his instructions, Hyuga Hayashi turned around and was about to leave, but stopped before passing the gate. Immediately find someone to repair the gate, and the cost will be paid by your family. The responsibility this time lies with you for not handling the problem properly. Looking at the back of Hinata Hayashi leaving, Hinata Kiyoshi fell to the ground, wanting to cry but unable to cry. Not only was I slapped for no reason, but I also had to pay for it out of my own pocket. Anger surged in his heart, and he walked towards the instigator, Hinata Zhi, with a sullen face. Brother Kinshi. Hinata didn't understand, but still smiled brightly. Come with me into the house, I have something to say. Hinata Kiyoshi unbuckled the belt around her waist as she walked. Today, the famous ninjutsu of the ninja world, the 7 wolves technique, is about to reappear in the arena. Yaoi and her group of 4 found a seat and sat down, escorted by the restaurant owners. Don't make trouble for me. Look, coincidentally, the waiter who served them was still the same waiter. I'd like 4 1-heart set meals, thank you. I think it should be okay this time. Shinomiya Yuzuki smiled as he handed the menu back. The waiter rolled his eyes and turned away. Soon, the table was filled with sumptuous dishes. The hungry Yaoi immediately showed her true nature as a foodie and wolfed down the food. During the break, Yaoi finally had the chance to browse the messages in the group. As expected, Minato and Obito were busy swiping the screen in the group, and the screen was full of their information. Yuzuki read through the messages one by one, and finally found that Obito was causing trouble again. Seeing that Hashirama Senju and Minato Namikaze had changed the future, Obito was also eager to intervene. Unfortunately, his strength does not allow him to be well, for both Hashirama and Minato are Hokage. Not only are they extremely powerful, but their personal strength is also very strong, so naturally everything goes smoothly. Obito is just an insignificant Shinin now. Even if he opens the main Gekyo Sharingan, his combat power is far from enough to sweep across the ninja world. The Third Ninja World War was still in full swing, and he was powerless to end the war early. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. At this time, he caught a glimpse of his main Gekyo Sharingan being sold in the gold coin wall. Inspiration struck him, and he decided to buy a pair to upgrade his kaleidoscope to an eternal kaleidoscope. This can not only avoid blindness caused by excessive consumption of pupil power, but also allow unlimited use of Shinwa-E to virtualize. Not to mention, the eternal main Gekyo can also unlock the complete form of Susanoo, and its combat power soars. This idea sounds reasonable after all. To obtain the eternal kaleidoscope, two relatives with the same bloodline and both of whom have opened the kaleidoscope need to merge their eyes. Unfortunately, Obito is an only child, and his parents died in battle at an early age, so he should not have the chance to obtain the eternal main Gekyo. The emergence of the gold coin wall seemed to open a window for him. What's more, this is my original eye. The degree of integration is definitely many times higher than others, but here comes the problem. This guy has no money. Uchiha Obito's main Gekyo was priced at 300,000 gold coins, but he was short of money and had no coins, so he started his journey of borrowing money in the group. Period. Minato was so kind that he lent out all his wealth, 100,000 gold coins, but there was still a shortfall of 200,000 gold coins. At this critical moment, a man who had been silent for a long time emerged and spoke. Senju Hashirama, do you need to borrow money? I have exactly 200,000 here, you can use it first. Uchiha Obito? Ah. Really, Shadame-sama? Thank you so much, Senju Hashirama. Haha, you're welcome. After learning about Obito's needs, Hashirama transferred the gold coins to him without saying a word. Yaoyu silently commented in her heart, boss, you are arrogant. Chapter 14 Roots. While Hashirama was online, Shinomiya Yuzuki couldn't help but ask curiously, Shinomiya Yuzuki, Hashirama, how have you been lately? Senju Hashirama, not bad. Madara and I have made a plan to find Black Zetsu and seal it to prevent future troubles. Konoha second year. Brother, what's wrong? What's the matter with calling me over here? Tobirama, please pass this document on. Senju Hashirama, who had just replied to the group message, handed a document to Senju Tobirama, who had just entered the room. What is this? When he opened the door, the corners of his mouth twitched involuntarily. My goodness, this is the document that identifies Uchiha Madara as a traitor. From now on, Madara is officially included in the wanted list, and all Konoha ninjas must capture him when they see him. Brother, what is this song about? Tobirama threw the document back on the table with an expressionless face. Capture Uchiha Madara, apart from you, big brother, who can deal with him? Isn't the release of this document equivalent to publicly declaring that we are powerless? If this file is really executed, the Konoha ninjas will be blessed and enjoy themselves. Also, what's going on between you and Madara? How can you break up just like that? Weren't you two good friends before? Although Tobirama has no good feelings towards Madara, his desire for peace is sincere. Madara's existence is like a magic needle that stabilizes the sea, making the entire ninja world dare not act rashly. Senju Hashirama sighed softly. Hey, this matter cannot be explained in a short time, just do it first, and I will explain it in detail later. Seeing that his elder brother was unwilling to talk more, Tobirama shook his head slightly, took the traitorous ninja file, and left in an instant. It was not that Hashirama was hiding the truth on purpose, but before the matter was completely resolved, the fewer people who knew about it, the better. That black is definitely not a trivial thing. It can possess people, can hide underground, and it is difficult to detect its whereabouts if you are not careful. The secrets may be leaked now. Madara has secretly gone to the land of whirlpools to learn the sealing technique. Only the sealing technique can work on special beings like Black Zetsu. During this time, Konoha had to keep its distance from Madara and even pretend to be in opposition. In this way, Black Zetsu might instigate Madara and Hashirama to go to war in order to awaken the Rinnegan. Once Black Zetsu gets close to Madara, the fate that awaits him is to be sealed away. Chat group dynamics. Senju Hashirama, next, we can only wait for good news and see if it will take the bait. Shinomiya Yuzuki, this is a really clever move. Hashirama, after defeating Black Zetsu, have you ever thought of taking advantage of the victory and taking down Kaguya as well? Senju Hashirama, I'm afraid Madara and I are no match for her. Even the woodman technique cannot resist that level of power. Shinomiya Yuzuki, stupid, can't you or Madara become the 10-tails Jinchuriki? You two can think of a way to get the Samsara Eye and summon the Outer Path Demon statue. Anyway, catching the tailed beasts is as easy as grabbing a doll from a claw machine. Although Kaguya is strong, she lacks practical experience. With your strength, under the same conditions, you have a great chance of winning. Besides, Princess Kaguya is a great beauty. Uchiha Obito, why do I feel like something insignificant is being inserted? Shinomiya Yuzuki, oh, don't worry about these details. She is actually quite naive. She activated the infinite Tsukuyomi just to resist the future invasion of the Otsutsuki. If you can convince her, she will be a powerful ally. If the Otsutsuki comes again in the future, the three of you will fight side by side, and any Otsutsuki will be confused. Senju Hashirama, sounds like a good plan, but let's talk about it later. We haven't even dealt with Black Zetsu yet. Shigeru smiled and left the group chat and continued eating. The four of them ate from the midday sun to the moon, and they added countless dishes to the table. No one expected that Hinata's seemingly petite body actually hide a bottomless pit, and she occupied half of the table alone. Everyone, did you enjoy your meal? Shinomiya Yuzuki came back after paying the bill and saw that Naruto and Hinata were getting along better and better. She felt relieved. It seemed that her hard work today was not in vain. A group of people in the chat group are rewriting the chapter of their destiny in their own way. Big or small, as the leader of the group, Yaoi naturally doesn't want to lag behind. It's time for him to take action and add some strokes to his script. Although compared to the great Hokage figures like Hashirama, Senju and Minato Namikaze, Shigen Yuzuki is just an insignificant little character. Unable to change the world, he had no choice but to advance step by step. Today's disturbance in the Hyuga family is just the beginning and is far from over. I'm full, Yaoi. Thank you for your treat. Naruto was filled with joy. He ate delicious food and made new friends who did not reject him. It was a double blessing, and I am very grateful to you, Yuzuki-kun, Hinata said softly, shyly thanking him. Hey, why don't you express your opinion? Yaoi lowered her head and looked at Ino, who was leisurely picking her teeth. I'm so grateful. Ino rolled her eyes and said perfunctorily, this is too insincere. Well, it's getting late, let's go home. After that, the four of them walked out of the restaurant, but just as they were about to leave the house, a dark shadow blocked their way like a phantom. Shigen Yuzuki, come with me. The visitor was dressed in standard Anbu attire and had a mask on his face to conceal his true appearance. People who don't know the truth may mistakenly think that this is an Anbu order from the Hokage. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later, but Shigen Yaoi recognized it at a glance. This was a member of the Root organization. The subtle differences between the Dark and the Root masks. In other words, he has been targeted by Danzo Yuzuki. Why does the Hokage want to see you? Ino asked with a puzzled look. Oh no. The Hyuga family must have reported today's incident to the Hokage, and you're going to suffer for it now. With the potential that Yuzuki has shown, Ino is not worried that he will be punished, but a scolding is inevitable. However, Shigen Yaoi and the others walked past the Root members calmly, as if they had not heard anything. Ignore him, let's go. Yui's actions confused his companions, but no one asked any questions and they all followed his steps. Only the Root member was left, staring at their backs as they walked away with a deep gaze. After sending everyone home one by one, Yaoi slowly walked towards the forbidden place, the forest of death. In this deserted place, even if there is any disturbance, no one will know. The moonlight is like a silver frost, and the forest of death is covered with a layer of silver frost. Shigen Yaoi suddenly stopped, with a hint of sneer on his face. Oh? You're making such a big fuss to deal with a little guy like me? Are you determined to capture me? As soon as he finished speaking, 12 figures suddenly appeared on the surrounding tree trunks and on the grass beneath his feet. Shigen Yuzuki, this is your last chance, just follow us, a Root member said coldly. No, it's late, I need to go back to get some beauty sleep. How dare you disobey the Hokage's orders? Hokage? Ha ha ha. Yaoi laughed so hard that he almost flipped over. Chapter 15, Wood Style. Wood Dragon, first kill. Period. The Root members present looked at each other in bewilderment. Is it that funny? What are you laughing at? Is that funny? The Root member shouted. Shigen Yaoi laughed so hard that tears almost came out. After finally stopping her laughter, Shinomiya Yuzuki looked up with a playful smile on her face. You just said it was the Hokage's order. How, that one-eyed old reptile who hides in the dark all day and covets the light. When did he become the Hokage? He conferred the title himself? Haha, A coward who wanted to be Hokage so badly, issuing orders in the name of Hokage. Isn't this ridiculous, everyone? Hey? Why aren't you guys smiling? Shinomiya looked at everyone with amusement, and the members of the root organization were already murderous when they heard the first sentence. The eye seemed to be able to penetrate Shinomiya and looked directly at death. A root member slowly drew out his knife. You know the existence of the root, so you shouldn't insult Danzo-sama. Originally, as long as you reveal how you got the information about root and how much you know, you still have a chance to survive. But now, we're not interested in interrogating a dead man. Before he finished speaking, several people drew their swords and rushed towards Shinomiya like thunder, wind style. Wind blade, thunder escape, earth walk. Almost at the same time, two members of the root organization launched ninjutsu, covering the sky and the ground, blocking all of Shinomiya Yuzuki's retreat routes. Faced with a desperate situation, Shinomiya remained calm and said two words lightly, wooden dragon. Next moment, a giant dragon made entirely of trees suddenly burst out of the ground. The deafening roar of the dragon resounded through the sky. The dragon head lifted up Shinomiya high, and the hovering dragon body blocked all attacks for him. What's this? Doesn't the intelligence show that he only knows taijutsu? Shinomiya stood on the dragon head, looking down at the stunned root members around him. In just a moment, the wooden dragon's huge body rolled up, strangling all the enemies who drew their swords to death. What? The continuous screams quickly dissipated at this moment. Only the two root members who did not attack in close combat were left alive. Wood release. The two were horrified. They could never imagine that Shinomiya Yuzuki could use wood release, and it's of such a powerful size. So this is what killing someone feels like. It doesn't seem like a big deal, Shinomiya muttered softly. This was the first time in his 2 lives that he personally ended a life. It seems that he has adapted well. Okay, you two should go down and accompany your teammates. You can't let the team break up. Shinomiya waved his hand, and countless sharp wooden spears suddenly sprang out from the ground, pierced the two men's bodies and hanged them high until the last moment of their lives. Their faces were still full of disbelief. I never thought that I would become a piercer one day. Shinomiya controlled the wooden dragon to land, and the moment it touched the ground, the wooden dragon and all traces of the wood escape disappeared without a trace. Leave no trace except for those who also have wood release. Ordinary ninjas can't tell what killed them then. Shinomiya walked leisurely towards his hut with his hands behind his back, humming a little tune. However, this night is not destined to be peaceful. After the incident with the Hyuga clan, Shinomiya Yuzuki's file was quickly placed on the desks of all major forces. Hyuga clan residents, are you sure this is his file? Hinata Hayashi frowned. The information in his hand was completely different from the Shinomiya Yuzuki he saw today. Hinata Kinshiki lowered his head and answered affirmatively. It was directly transferred from the Ninja Academy. That's very strange. Hinata Hayashi is puzzled. 6 years of being the last one. Either I made a mistake today, or there is a special reason, but I think it should be the latter. Hinata Hayashi put the file aside and said, anyway, we will not interfere in this matter and wait and see how it develops. If necessary, you can give Shinomiya some help at the appropriate time. Yes, Hinata Kinshiki nodded in response. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen also received a document from the Anbu on his desk. In this peaceful era, the Hyuga clan being broken into is already a big disturbance, not to mention that there is also a suspected genius named Yuzuki Shinomiya involved, which makes the Hokage have to take it seriously. Defeat 4 Hyuga Chunins instantly using taijutsu. Are you sure it's him? Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his old pipe, his face full of surprise. He was also full of doubts, but he knew Shinomiya and knew that he was the last one in the group. What shocked him now was that Shinomiya actually had such strength. The Hyuga clan specializes in soft fists and is especially good at taijutsu, but Shinomiya Yuzuki defeated them in their areas of strength. Considering his age, which is not yet graduated, it is a bit exaggerated. This is the record we got from Hyuga. There shouldn't be too many discrepancies, the Anbu replied. This is strange. Just as Sarutobi Hiruzen was immersed in his thoughts, the door of the office suddenly opened, and Shimura Danzo walked in with a solemn face. Sarutobi Hiruzen winked at the Anbu member, signaling him to leave the room. After the man left, he turned to Danzo and asked, Danzo, what can I do for you? This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Shimura Danzo walked to the desk and threw a stack of documents aside. Sarutobi Hiruzen picked it up and saw that it was the information about Shinomiya Yuzuki. What's the point of showing this to me? I just happen to have this on hand. Don't you think there's something strange about this Shinomiya Yuzuki? Danzo said. A little bit, But, before Sarutobi Hiruzen could finish his words, Danzo interrupted him coldly. This person has a close relationship with the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, and seems to be hiding a secret. I think he should be brought back for interrogation. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. This is unnecessary. I will talk to him tomorrow. Shimura Danzo disagreed. Hiruzen, you are always so indecisive. This concerns the safety of the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Do you want the Nine-Tails rebellion to happen again? Danzo's righteous words made Sarutobi Hiruzen's face uncertain. He took a deep puff of his pipe finally. He said in a deep voice, let's slow down this matter. After all, he's Naruto's friend. We don't need to make things tense. Shimura Danzo narrowed his eyes, with a hint of sarcasm flashing in his eyes. I knew you would say that, but you don't have to wait. I have sent someone to invite him. The truth will soon come out. After saying this, Danzo turned around and was about to leave. Bang! Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly became furious and slammed the table. Danzo, do you still see me, the Hokage, as existent in your eyes? Shimura Danzo paused but did not reply. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at his back and made a decision in his heart. From now on, you are dismissed from your position as Hokage's assistant, and your root organization will be disbanded effective immediately. Danzo, you are not young anymore. You should not interfere too much in the affairs. The future of Konoha should be handed over to those outstanding young people. I will send someone to take over root tomorrow. Please prepare for the handover. Also, release the person immediately after you return, and don't make me go to their house to beg for him. Period. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a rare toughness. Shimura Danzo turned around suddenly, his eyes full of disbelief. Hiruzen, just for a person of unknown origin, you are going to treat me like this? He's different. He's Naruto's only friend. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned and looked up at the bright moon in the night sky. I promised Minato that I would take good care of Naruto, but I broke my promise. As Naruto's friend, Yuzuki Shinomiya has been by his side for many years and is almost like a half-brother to him. How will I face Naruto if something happens to him? How am I going to face Minato and the others after I go down? Shimura Danzo was so angry that his face turned blue. It was just a random arrest, but I didn't expect it to cause such a strong backlash. He knew that Sarutobi Hiruzen had been looking for an opportunity to restrain himself, but he had never expected it to happen so quickly. Finally, Shimura Danzo left with a sneer and angrily back to the gloomy root organization base. Without waiting for Danzo to catch his breath, one of the men brought another good news. Master Danzo, the 12-man team sent to capture Shinomiya Yuzuki has lost contact for half an hour. Danzo's eyes went dark when he heard this, and he almost fainted from anger. 2 Jonin and 10 Chunin's, dealing with a kid who hasn't even graduated from ninja school. How could something go wrong? A bunch of trash. Recall those idiots. Mission cancelled. Shimura Danzo ordered that since Sarutobi Hiruzen was clearly going to protect Shinomiya Yuzuki, he could not confront him head-on for the time being. This matter has to be left alone for now. As ordered, the subordinates took the order and left within 10 minutes. The root member returned in panic. This is terrible, Lord Danzo. They are all dead. Danzo had just poured himself a cup of hot tea when he heard the bad news and the cup shattered in his palm. He stared at the man. What did you say? Of the 12 people who went to capture Shinomiya, none survived. The last place they appeared was not Shigen Yuzuki's residence, but the Death Forest. It seems that someone deliberately led them in and killed them. Take me there. Now. Shimura Danzo suddenly stood up soon. Shimura Danzo led many members of the root organization to the Death Forest. What came into view was the 12 horrible corpses lying on the ground. However, for Danzo, this was just a small scene. His face was as gloomy as water, and he went forward to examine the body carefully. After some investigation, his pupils suddenly contracted. Done. Chapter 16, Rebirth. I am Uchiha Sasuke. In the early morning, just after dawn, Shinomiya was awakened by a series of rapid knocks on the door. Outside the door, Yamanaka Ino was carrying a steaming bun. After knocking on the door to no avail, she took out the spare key and pushed the door open. When I walked into the bedroom, I saw that the curtains were tightly closed, almost no light came through. Shinomiya was immersed in a sweet dream, with no sign of waking up. You haven't gotten up yet? Ino's voice was filled with disbelief. Are you going to school today or not? As she spoke, she took gentle measures and invited Yaoyu out of bed. After some tugging, the two finally stepped out of the house and officially started a new day's journey. As they walked, Yaoyu chewed a bun while casually thinking whether she should do something sensational today. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in front of the two of them like a ghost. Sir Shinomiya Yuzuki, the Hokage has summoned you. Please come with me. The visitor wore a signature Anbu mask, and his words revealed a unique politeness and rigor. His identity was self-evident. Yuzuki looked at him for a moment and confirmed that this was not Danzo's secret route, but a real member of the Anbu. However, he refused the call. "I'm so sorry, I'm in a hurry to go to school. How about you come to see me after school in the afternoon? I will convey this to the third Hokage. Sorry for bothering you." After saying that, the Anbu members instantly disappeared into the air, leaving behind a trail of faint after-images. "It's like this again. Why don't you take some time to go to the Hokage's office? It's not good to have someone come to your door every day." Aino looked in the direction where the Anbu left and suggested to Yuzuki, "I've been visited by someone for 2 consecutive days. This frequency is really a headache." Yaoyu smiled and waved her hands. "It's okay, let's put it aside for now." "Okay, now that you've decided." Aino had no objection to Yuzuki's decision, and the two continued to head towards the Ninja Academy. At this moment, a strange slogan came from behind, breaking the morning tranquility. Yaoyu stopped and asked, "What's the noise?" Soon, 2 figures in green tights flashed by in a strange upside-down running posture. They are the energetic Might Guy and his apprentice Rock Lee. Woohoo! This is youth, Xiaoli. Run 5 more laps, hold on, and let our youth burn. Yes, Teacher Kai. Might Guy's passionate shout inspired Rock Lee, making his already exhausted body seem full of strength again. "Hey, it's you, Kai." "Xiaoli, good morning," Yaoyu greeted in a friendly manner. He once yearned for the 8 gates of Dunjia, and thought that even if he did not have the talent to become a ninja, specializing in physical skills would be a good way to go. Therefore, he once took the initiative to find Might Guy and asked to train together. Might Guy readily agreed and accepted everyone who came. Soon, Yaoyu joined their high-intensity training. Unfortunately, the training was so intense that Yaoyu only lasted 3 days before surrendering. Despite this, their relationship became quite harmonious. "It's you, the striving young man. Yaoyu, do you want to join us in our exciting youth training?" Might Guy raised his thick eyebrows and extended an enthusiastic invitation. Yaoyu smiled bitterly. I'd better forget it. I have to go to school." "It's a shame, but school is important. Come on, boy." "Xiaoli, let's keep moving forward." Leaving behind words of encouragement, Might Guy and Rock Lee continue their journey of burning youth. Watching the back of the strongest man in the ninja world gradually walk away, Yaoyu touched his chin thoughtfully. "I was thinking about whether I could give Might Guy a little cheat, such as giving him the 6 paths of Yang power. It was an incomparable life energy. Naruto once opened the death gate with Might Guy and his life force was about to run out. Just a little bit of this energy can save him, and even reduce the cost of his life to only losing a leg. If Might Guy himself possesses the power of the 6 paths of Yang, can he use the 8 gates of ninjutsu without restrictions? This is a good idea. If conditions permit in the future, it is worth a try. If successful, it means that he has gained a constant 6 paths level strength. A power that even 6 paths mediocre cannot match. Go, go, Yuzuki called Aino when they set off again. Not long after, they arrived at the Ninja Academy, and Uzumaki Naruto was already waiting at the school gate, with Hyuga Hinata standing shyly beside him. "Yuzuki," Naruto shouted, waving his hands excitedly. "Yaoyu-kun." Yaoyu smiled and said softly, "Go in." The 4-member team slowly stepped into the gate of the academy. For Yaoyu's current strength, the courses at the Ninja Academy have long lost their appeal. His eyes wandered around the classroom curiously. Graduation is approaching, the 12 little strong men are about to face class division, and the keynote of the Naruto story is about to begin. Period. But this time, the addition of Yuzuki Shinomiya is destined to make this ninja world deviate from the original script. At this moment, Yuayu's eyes rested on the cool Uchiha Sasuke. The boy who had experienced the night when his family was exterminated was more mature and calm than his peers. As one of the protagonists of the story, if I can do something with Sasuke, maybe gold coins will be rewarded, Yaoyu thought to herself. Suddenly, a bold idea flashed through my mind. Why not have a rebirth drama that travels through time and space? He remembered seeing a product called Memory Crystal in the gold coin wall. I quickly opened the wall and searched, and sure enough, the product was listed. Memory Crystal, Uchiha Sasuke version, contains copies of all of Uchiha Sasuke's memories from birth to adulthood. After use, you can completely inherit Uchiha Sasuke's memories. Price? 30,000 gold coins. That's it. Yaoyu bought it without saying anything. He still has 110,000 gold coins in savings, so this is not a problem for him. Hey, Sas, get ready to embrace your new destiny. Yaoyu couldn't help but smile like an auntie. What kind of waves will Sasuke, who has returned from the Boruto era, bring when he appears in this era? He is full of expectations by then. I will definitely be able to explode the chat group coins finally. The get out of class was over, and Yuzuki went straight to Sasuke. What's the matter? Sasuke asked coldly. I have some news about Uchiha Itachi. Don't you want to know? Yuzuki directly threw out the bait that Sasuke couldn't ignore. Sure enough, when Sasuke heard Uchiha Itachi's name, he clenched his fists. Don't mention him in front of me, Sasuke yelled out of control, and this sudden change immediately attracted the attention of the whole class. Chapter 17, ending the valley with cold wind blowing, the cicada chirping and the young man returning. Are Yuzuki and Sasuke arguing? Naruto was chatting with Hinata, but when he heard the noise, he turned around. Oh, how annoying. Shikamaru wanted to take a nap during the break, but he was scared out of his wits by this noise. Shikamaru was happily chewing potato chips, while Ano continued to trim her nails as if nothing had happened to her. She knows Yuayu's abilities too well. He must be doing something weird again. Do you want to know everything? If so, follow me to the back mountain. Yuayu's words seemed to have magic power, completely arousing Sasuke's curiosity. Seeing Yatsuki leave the classroom, Sasuke followed without thinking much. He must know how the last place student in the class knew that name, and how much he knew. Sasuke, don't go. Class is about to start. Sakura tried to stop her, but was pushed away by Sasuke. Leave me alone. On the back mountain when Sasuke arrived, Yatsuki was standing on the edge of the cliff, with his hands behind his back, his robe fluttering in the wind, rustling, looking extremely handsome. However, Sasuke is obviously not someone who can appreciate this artistic conception. He gritted his teeth and said, Shigen Yaoyu. No matter where you heard this name from, if you dare to tease me, I will make you regret living in this world. Tell me, what do you know? Sasuke asked eagerly. Yuayu shook her head slightly, muttering to herself, Sasuke is really flammable and explosive at this moment, and his words are not pleasant to hear. He turned around and gently threw the memory crystal in his hand to Sasuke. Catch. What is this? Sasuke frowned. Crush it. The answer you want is inside, Yaoyu said mysteriously. Sasuke gave him a long look, as if weighing the possibilities. How could a mere nobody have the information about that S-rank rebel ninja? He was skeptical. Don't look at me like that. What can I, who has always been at the bottom of the class, do to you? Don't play tricks on me, Sasuke warned. Finally, he made up his mind and no longer hesitated. Sasuke grabbed the memory crystal and refined it in an instant. All of a sudden, memories flooded into his mind like a torrent. Lazy cicada, please take me through the long river of time again. Up, decades of memories flooded into my mind, and the unbearable pain surged over me. In order to protect himself, Sasuke immediately fell into coma. The cold wind blows in the valley, the cicada chirps and the young man returns in the morning light. The sun gradually rises, and the scorching light is blinding. 2 hours passed slowly, and Uchiha Sasuke finally began to wake up. His eyelids trembled slightly, and he slowly opened them. The glaring sunlight made him instinctively block his eyes with his hands. Sakura, where's our roof? Sasuke clearly remembered that he was lying at home, after the fierce battle with Otsutsuki Isshiki. Boruto, who was possessed by Momoshiki, stabbed his Samsara eye blind during this period of time. He has been recuperating in Konoha. Of course, you should sleep at home. This is not a wilderness, so how can you be exposed to direct sunlight? At this moment, an enlarged face came over from above, examining him curiously. It seems like you've integrated quite well. You even blurted out Sakura's name, which you were avoiding before. Uchiha Sasuke, who are you? Sasuke sat up suddenly, his body instantly entering combat mode. Hey, is this how you treat your benefactor? I took great pains to pull you back from the future, and you want to attack me as soon as I wake up, Yaoyu said unhappily. You? Before Sasuke could say anything, Yuzuki's words seemed to trigger some kind of mechanism. A memory suddenly emerged in his mind, which was a fragment of the memory of the young Sasuke. Soon after, all the memories merged perfectly and a new Sasuke was born. Not only does he retain memories from the future, he also knows the current situation. He is not simply a copy of a bunch of memories. It can even be said that he was reborn and returned to the past. The lazy cicada plan was a success. Sasuke's eyes became deep. Is it the crystal you gave me just now that allowed me to return from the future? That's right. Shinomiya Yuzuki nodded in confirmation. What kind of technique is this? Also, Shinomiya Yuzuki? In my memory, there is no such name. You seem to have appeared out of nowhere, and you have mastered the art of controlling time. You shouldn't be an unknown person. In Sasuke's memory, there has never been a person named Shinomiya Yuzuki since the ninja school, but in the current time and space, he's extremely active and even becomes friends with Naruto. The inconsistency is hard to ignore. Uchiha Sasuke slowly stood up, his dark eyes gradually filled with red halos. Magatama, 2 Magatama, 3 Magatama. In just a few seconds, Sasuke's single Magatama Sharingan quickly evolved to 3 Magatama. This is due to his decades of experience in using the Sharingan. Except for the main Gekyo, which cannot be directly upgraded, the ordinary Sharingan can be quickly opened to the 3 Magatama state under his control. Aren't you going to explain? Facing Sasuke's guarded attitude, Shinomiya was somewhat helpless. Are you really that nervous? Are you from the Otsutsuki clan? Sasuke asked. Aliens like Otsutsuki or Isshiki can open a passage back to the past. He and Boruto did experience it, but it was a physical journey, and they could not interfere too much with history, otherwise it would lead to unexpected consequences, and Yao's technique is obviously more advanced. Not only can he intervene in history, but he can also create an effect comparable to rebirth. Do you think I look like that? No. Sasuke shook his head. The appearance of the Otsutsuki is too distinct. Shinomiya Yuzuki does look like a pure human being. That's right. My existence goes far beyond the scope of the Otsutsuki clan. For now, the ninja world is fun for me. I like it here and the people here. You don't have to be on guard against me all the time. I am sure I can bring you back. Instead of thinking about attacking me all day, you should think about how to get rid of Danzo and bring Itachi home. Sasuke looked at him deeply for a while, as if he was weighing something. After a moment, Sasuke nodded and stopped his confrontation. What Shinomiya Yuzuki said makes sense in any case. He has not yet fully recovered to his peak state. Even if Shinomiya has something to plan, he is powerless to stop it. After countless hardships, Sasuke is no longer the young man who hit his head against the wall. He has learned to think and consider more far-reaching plans. That solves it. Let's go, Sas. We've already skipped 2 classes, and Iruka-sensei must be pissed off. Shinomiya Yuzuki put his arm around Sasuke's shoulder. Sasuke looked slightly uncomfortable. It seemed like they weren't that close. Chapter 18 Sakura becomes the biggest beneficiary. Confirmation of current world line changes. Congratulations on winning 100,000 gold coins. Hiss, 100,000 gold coins. Shinomiya glanced at Sasuke beside him. This guy is worthy of being a member of the protagonist group. He is simply a walking gold coin making machine. Since Sasuke is so valuable, Naruto must be no worse off. He has more money on hand now. We have to find a suitable time to give Naruto a gorgeous turn. As for what kind of cheat code to give Naruto, he still needs to think about it. The 2 of them sneaked back to the classroom from the back hill. It was during class time. Under Iruka's resentful look, the 2 of them walked across the podium and returned to their seats as if nothing had happened. Iruka looked at Yuzuki and Sasuke and sighed softly. One is a genius of the Uchiha clan, who is too busy to say anything. The other one is the last one in the world. It's useless to say forget it, I'm tired. So, Iruka continued his lecture. Sasuke, this is the content of the first 2 sections. Do you need me to help you catch up? Sakura came over quietly with her notebook and asked Sasuke in a low voice. Although she knew she might be rejected, she just liked this handsome Uchiha guy unexpectedly. Sasuke's answer made Sakura feel as if she was in a dream. He said gently, thank you, but I don't need it. Sakura was very surprised. Is this really Sasuke? He looks completely different. Although he still refused, the tone was so gentle that she couldn't believe it. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at Sakura, whose face was flushed, and sighed helplessly. He himself was also very clear that this change in attitude towards Sakura was indeed surprising, but what can he do? After all, she will be his wife in the future, so he can't just be so cold now. Stop staring at me and focus on the lecture. Sasuke lowered his voice and said yet. Sakura nodded repeatedly as if she had been given a shot of chicken blood, but in fact, her mind had already flown away, and she would steal glances at Sasuke from time to time. Sasuke took this opportunity to carefully observe his classmates: Inuzuka Kiba, Aburame Shino, Narashikamaru, Akimichi Chaji, Yamanaka Ino. All the familiar faces are their business as usual, but in a blink of an eye, Sasuke found that Naruto was no longer in his original position. Wait, why is Naruto sitting next to Hinata? Shouldn't he be sitting next to me with Sakura? Seeing that they can still chat secretly during class, it is obvious that they have become familiar with each other. The future is already changing. Uchiha Sasuke turned his gaze to the sleeping boy in the corner of the classroom. Shinomiya Yuzuki. All the changes were caused by him, this mysterious and weird guy. Sasuke shook his head slightly and decided to ignore these trivial matters for the time being. He then began to plan how to get rid of this cancer. At the same time, Shinomiya was communicating enthusiastically with the group members in the group. Shinomiya Yuzuki, I am on the right track here. You are the only one who has done nothing in the group. At Uchiha Obito, don't just sit there. Obito. Only by moving can you gain something and become stronger. Uchiha Obito, wait a little longer. The eternal Mangekyo is almost complete. After sending the message, Obito went into hiding, probably to work on his Mangekyo evolution since the busy Hashirama was not around. Yuzuki had to talk to Minato Namake's Shinomiya Yuzuki. Minato, do you want to see how Naruto is doing? Konoha 48th year, Brother Minato, we are here. Yohiko led Konan and Nagato into the Hokage's office. Minato smiled and said, here are your ninja files and 4 protectors. From today on, you are a member of the Konoha family. Namake's Minato took out 3 documents and a 4 protector and placed them neatly on the table. Really? That's great, thank you so much, Minato-san. Yohiko couldn't hide his excitement. The formalities were handled surprisingly quickly. He knew clearly that Minato Namake's must have help behind this, otherwise, how could these 3 outsiders obtain Konoha's household registration so easily? You're welcome, just enjoy your days in Konoha, Minato said with a smile after saying goodbye. Yohiko and the other 2 set off on their journey home. Not long after they left, the office door opened again. Namake's Minato looked up and saw that the person coming was the 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. What's going on? Minato quickly stood up and went forward to greet Sarutobi Hiruzen. Took a sip of his pipe, frowning. There has been no news from Danzo for many days. Minato, have you seen him during this time? Namake's Minato pretended to be surprised. Elder Danzo disappeared? When did this happen? Just a few days ago? I heard that he took a group of people to the Rain Country and has not returned yet. Minato, do you have any clues? The 3rd generation looked at him with deep eyes. The 3rd generation has been in power for many years, so he naturally has his own spies in the Anbu. He soon learned about Minato's leaving the village that night. In addition, the next day Minato brought back 3 people from the Rain Country, which obviously meant that he had visited there before. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not doubt that Minato would deal with Danzo. After all, there was no grudge between the 2, and Minato was not that kind of person. Even if he was told that Danzo was hit by a meteor, he would never believe that Minato would take action. He was just worried that Danzo would be caught by Minato when he was doing evil, which would cause a rift between the 2 of them. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. Period. In this way, when Danzo was in danger, Minato might not have lent a hand. After all, they were in the Rain Country at the same time, so the possibility of meeting each other was not small. Namake's Minato shook his head. His face did not reveal any trace. That day I received urgent information from Jiraiya-sensei, saying that Yohiko and the others were in danger and needed my help. I came back after rescuing people. I haven't met Elder Danzo, is that so? Sarutobi Hiruzen took another puff of his pipe and nodded without asking any more questions. Looking at the back of the 3rd generation leaving, the smile on Minato's face gradually faded and became calm. He had respected this old man very much, and he had devoted his whole life to Konoha, but some of the other party's actions really made him difficult to agree with. In the original world line, he turned a blind eye to Danzo's private activities, and many talented people of Konoha died because of this. In order to get the Samsara, Danzo did not hesitate to frame Yohiko and the other 2 in the past. Konoha White Fang was very popular and had the potential to become Hokage, but due to Danzo's behind the scenes calculations, he fell under the blade of public opinion. Uchiha Shisu, and even the entire Uchiha clan, are victims of Danzo's desire for the Sharingan. These are just the tip of the iceberg. His deeds are too numerous to mention, not to mention his death during the Nine Tails Rebellion on that fateful night, and Danzo's absence. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who clearly entrusted him to take good care of Naruto, only verbally agreed. In the end, he has many enemies in the ninja world, so it is understandable that he concealed his identity as the son of Hokage in order to protect Naruto. But why is the label of Nine Tails Jinchuriki known to everyone? But Naruto hardly enjoyed the legacy he left behind as Hokage. The actions of the 3rd generation made Minato Namake's extremely disappointed. Minato returned to his desk and prepared to continue working. At this moment, he received a message from Shigen Yaoi in the group at opening the group chat. Minato was slightly startled after reading Yatsuki's message. Go see Naruto. Chapter 19 Chat Group's first team building plan. Namake's Minato thought for a moment and replied, okay, I also want to know Naruto's current situation, but we are in a different timeline. Is this really possible? Minato already found it incredible to be able to communicate through time, but jumping from one timeline to another, this sounds absolutely ridiculous. Shigen Yaoi, don't underestimate the power of plugins. This kind of thing is easy for me. I'll take you there whenever it's convenient for you. Namake's Minato, the leader of the group, is really powerful. Then let's do it tomorrow. I need to take care of some work and I have to tell Kushina, otherwise she will worry. Shinomiya Yuzuki, why not bring Kushina along as well? Wouldn't it be better if the three of us can be reunited as a family? Namikaze Minato, is it okay? That would be great. Shinomiya, that's settled. See you in the group tomorrow. I'll take you over. Namikaze Minato, okay, I'll go get ready first. I'm a little nervous now. Uchiha Obito, what happened? You didn't take me with you on such a good trip. That's too much. If I hadn't come up to take a look, would you have left me alone? Minato-sensei, at Namikaze Minato. Shinomiya, weren't you busy with that eternal kaleidoscope? How come you finished it so quickly? Besides, you're not familiar with Naruto. Why would you run over to join in the fun? Uchiha Obito, this little eternal Mangekyo is not simple enough for me. Image he sent a selfie, in which the pattern of the Mangekyo Sharingan was subtly changing in his eye sockets. Apparently, his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan evolution was complete. Also, who said I didn't know Naruto? When he was born, Kakashi and Rin were not there, only I was there, and I even beat him up. Namikaze Minato, Shinomiya Yuzuki, 6. What a joke I made. Senju Hashirama, hey, everyone is still chatting so late, aren't you going to sleep? When Shinomiya saw this big guy, his eyes lit up. If Minato, Namikaze and Obito can come, then why not bring the first generation as well? Imagine what a sensation it would cause if the god of the ninja world came to Konoha alive. Shinomiya, we are discussing the team building activities for tomorrow, and we are planning to come to my place to play. Would you like to join us, the first generation? By the way, is it nighttime where you are? It's noon here. Uchiha Obito, noon? At night? It's just dawn over here. Namikaze Minato, it's 10 a.m. here. Shinomiya, what's going on? The time doesn't match. Only then did he realize this special setting in the group. He thought about it and quickly asked a key question. Everyone, how long has it been since you joined the group? Senju Hashirama, about a month or so. Uchiha Obito, more than a week. Namikaze Minato, it's the 12th day. Oh my god, the time difference is too big. Time is really amazing. It's only been a few days, but it seems that chatting in the group is not affected by the time difference. Otherwise, if Otsutsuki sent a message, Hashirama would have to wait for several days to see it, but Hashirama would always reply within seconds. Yaoi shared her conclusion in the group. The three of them suddenly felt novel. Shinomiya Yuzuki, strange knowledge has increased at Senju Hashirama. Would you like to join our team building? Come and see the prosperity of Konoha in the future. Initially, Yuzuki just wanted Minato to come and see Naruto. Maybe he could change something and earn some coins. Now Obito is coming too, and there is only Hashirama left in the group, so why not invite everyone else to have a big reunion? Senju Hashirama, okay, I can go. Shinomiya, that's settled. According to my schedule, I will formally invite everyone in the group tomorrow. Don't forget to check the group messages. After getting confirmation from the three people, Yaoi exited the chat interface back to the real world. Yuzuki looked at Naruto, who was chatting with Hinata, and smiled secretly. Little brother, are you ready? The surprise is about to be delivered. Naruto suddenly shuddered. He scratched his head, feeling as if he was being stared at by something. Finally, the school bell rang, and the students poured out of the classroom one after another like little beasts that had been released from their seals. Several familiar faces gathered around Yaoi, planning to go home together as usual. You guys go ahead and leave. I have to report to the Hokage. Yu waved at them and said with a relaxed look. Naruto and his companions nodded in understanding, and after a brief farewell, they dispersed. As soon as I stepped out of the school gate, the mysterious Anbu member was already waiting there quietly. As if time had stopped for this moment. It was the morning. He approached Yaoi without saying anything when they met. Shigen-sen, is it convenient now? Yaoi gave a simple and powerful look. Let's go. The Anbu personnel received the order and were about to step forward, but unexpectedly, Yaoi's voice came from behind. Just walk over slowly like this. The Anbu was startled and was about to turn around to ask, but before his eyes blurred, Yaoi's figure moved in front of him like a ghost. Too fast. The Anbu was dumbfounded, and couldn't even see how Yu moved. My dear, there's more to come after this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. There will be more exciting chapters later. Yaoi gave a sly smile. I'm in a hurry, you can catch up slowly. As he spoke, his figure turned into a shadow and gradually disappeared at the end of his sight. This speed, the Anbu is astonished. They couldn't believe that such ability came from a student who hadn't even graduated from the Ninja Academy. He quickly gathered his thoughts, formed a seal and performed the instant body technique, following closely behind. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Period. I muttered to myself, just now, Yaoyu didn't seem to have formed any hand seals at all. Was it purely physical skill speed? Inside the Hokage building, the knock on the door could be clearly heard. Boom boom boom. Shigen Yaoyu stood outside the door, and the Anbu moved to his side almost instantly. Not bad. Yaoyu raised an eyebrow, slightly teasing. The Anbu was slightly out of breath, not knowing how to respond, so he just remained silent. At the right time, a calm invitation came from inside the door. Come in. The Anbu opened the door and reported respectfully, Hokage, I have brought you Shinomiya Yuzuki. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded slightly, signaling the Anbu to withdraw. Facing this great ninja, Yuzuki was neither humble nor overbearing. Hokage-sama, what can I do for you? Sarutobi Hiruzen's kind smile reassures people. Don't be nervous, I just want to witness the future hope of Konoha with my own eyes. Please sit down first. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his pipe, his eyes gentle. Yuzuki, what do you think of Naruto? Can you share your views? Yaoyu was a little surprised, but still told him frankly, he's my best friend. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed very satisfied with the answer, and then took out a file and placed it in front of Yuzuki. Chapter 20. I love to tell the truth, Yuzuki. This is your record in the ninja school, but I found that it doesn't seem to match your actual performance. Sarutobi Hiruzen deliberately showed a puzzled expression. Yatsuki's mouth twitched, knowing that this was a hint at what happened to the Hyuga clan yesterday, but he was undaunted and reiterated what he had said to Ino before. You can always use good excuses, since they won't be exposed anyway. After hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a surprised look. I see, what a sensible child. It is because of outstanding talent like you that Konoha can continue to thrive. It seems that yesterday was just a misunderstanding. I will communicate with the Hyuga family and explain it clearly. He did not ask Yaoyu why she had been hiding for so many years, or whether she had other purposes, but instead praised her. Sarutobi Hiruzen's reaction is hard to guess. How can one easily guess the mind of an old fox with so many years of experience? But Yaoyu doesn't care. Regardless of whether she trusts him or not, as long as she has the strength, she can get through any storm safely. He responded, then I'll leave it to you, Hokage. Hey, if everything is okay, I'll leave first. My family is waiting for me to cook. Then, Shigen Yaoyu said with a smile, looking relaxed. Leave? Where do you think you can go? If you don't explain your whole story today, you can't go anywhere. Suddenly, a cold voice blew past like a chilly wind. Shimura Danzo suddenly opened the door and walked in with big strides before Shigen Yuzuki could speak. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. Danzo, what do you mean by that? Shimura Danzo sneered. Hiruzen, don't be fooled by this boy's innocent appearance. Last night, he brutally murdered 12 people from my root division. His methods were extremely cruel. I seriously suspect he is a spy sent by another village. He must be arrested and interrogated immediately. Shimura Danzo turned the tables and directly put a big hat on someone. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed a little helpless. This was exactly Danzo's usual trick of framing. But Yaoyu grew up in Konoha? How could she be a spy from another village? He said, okay Danzo. I'm afraid there is a misunderstanding here. Although Danzo is not a good person, the selection of the root is extremely strict. Each of them is a top ninja, similar to the Anbu. He looked at the 12-year-old Shinomiya Yuzuki. Even though she was a genius, he could not believe that Yuzuki had the ability to kill Danzo's 12 subordinates. After all, ages there, Kakashi couldn't do this back then. He instinctively felt that this was a casual accusation made by Danzo. Hiruzen, you bastard. Shimura Danzo was so angry that he almost exploded. Why do you always have a preconceived notion that this kind of thing can't happen? Can you open your eyes and see this world? If he didn't want to monopolize the secret of wood release, he would have announced to the public that Shinomiya Yuzuki was suspected of mastering wood release. However, at this moment, to the surprise of Danzo, Shimura, and Hiruzen, Sarutobi, Shinomiya Yuzuki actually admitted it himself. That one-eyed weirdo with bandages? Are you talking about the 12 people who called themselves Anbu who tried to take me away last night? Yes, I did it. Shimura Danzo was overjoyed. He was worried that he could not find any flaws in Shigen Yuzuki, but he did not expect that he would come to him. Hiruzen, did you hear that? He admitted it himself. Why don't you order his arrest? Shimura Danzo suppressed his laughter and asked in a deep voice. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Yuzuki in shock. He was actually able to kill 12 root members. This talent is even more outstanding than Kakashi's back then, but doubts followed. He did not attack directly, but asked patiently, Yaoyu, you must be responsible for what you say. Did you really do such a thing? Yes, that's right. Why are you doing this? Sarutobi Hiruzen was puzzled. Shigen Yaoyu put on an innocent attitude of I didn't know it at the time and slowly said, they said they came here on the orders of the Hokage, but they are obviously not members of the Anbu. You can tell from their masks. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath and glanced at Denzo with displeasure. He didn't expect that Denzo was so bold as to act secretly in the name of Hokage. Isn't this tarnishing the glory of the title of Hokage? The ninja who bears the name of Kage is the most respected person in the village. If Danzo is allowed to act like this, the reputation of the Hokage will be ruined sooner or later. Danzo's face darkened. Isn't he interrogating Shinomiya Yuzuki now? Why does he feel like he is the one who is hurt? Seeing that his words had an effect, Shinomiya Yuzuki continued, I thought it was an enemy spy who had infiltrated, so I took advantage of the situation and killed them. Yuzuki turned around and pointed his gaze at Shimura Danzo, so these are all your subordinates. In other words, the so-called Hokage order was actually issued by you. Hey, you bandage freak, which Hokage are you? Why haven't I seen your statue on the Hokage rock? When can I see the Hokage rock carved with your face? Shigen Yaoyu pretended to be ignorant, as if she really knew nothing about it. Of course, he was not mocking Danzo. Shimura Danzo's breathing became increasingly rapid, and a surge of anger rose in his chest. You keep calling me a bandage weirdo and speaking in that tone. Do you really think I can't hear the sarcasm in your tone? This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Danzo leaned on his cane and shouted angrily, Boy, show some respect. I am the assistant Hokage of Konoha? How dare you call me that? Yesterday doesn't count for you, Sarutobi Hiruzen said leisurely. Oh. So he's the assistant of the former Hokage, but he's still not the Hokage. Can he still do things under the banner of the Hokage? Shigen Yaoyu deliberately emphasized the word before, which is meaningful. Kid, seeing that Denzo was almost about to turn red, the atmosphere was tense at this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen came out to smooth things over. Okay, that's enough for today, Danzo, and don't let me hear anything like this again, he said in a warning tone. Danzo snorted and didn't respond. Obviously, his desire for the position of Hokage would not be easily extinguished. Yuzuki, can you tell me how you dealt with those 12 root members? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked curiously. According to his understanding, Shinomiya Yuzuki had never learned any particularly powerful ninjutsu since he was a child. How did he manage to repel 12 root elites alone? Danzo, who was standing by, became nervous after hearing this. Could it be that the secret of wood release can no longer be hidden? Period. Would that mean I missed the opportunity to seize the initiative? Judging from the traces left at the scene, Shigen Yaoyu should have used a large-scale and powerful wood-style ninjutsu to eliminate all the root members in an instant. This is something that even Yamato cannot accomplish. Does it mean that the wood release mastered by Shinomiya Yuzuki is stronger than Yamato's? He must figure out how Shinomiya Yuzuki obtained the bloodline limit of wood release. He shouldn't be so stupid as to expose himself. Danzo secretly thought. However, the reality was not what people wanted, and Shigen Yaoyu told the truth frankly. It was wood release. I used wood release, wood dragon technique, and those small fry under the bandage monster were all gone in the blink of an eye. Shimura Danzo, Chapter 21, Give Naruto a little trick. A big question mark appeared on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face, and he looked incredulous. Is there something wrong with his ears, or did Shinomiya Yuzuki let the cat out of the bag? Wood release? In Konoha village, how could anyone other than Yamato be able to master this secret technique? On that face full of traces of time, his brows were slightly furrowed. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his pipe and asked slowly, Yuzuki, are you sure it's wood release? Why not see it for yourself? There is no point in talking too much, it is better to demonstrate it directly. Shigen Yaoyu clasped his hands together and whispered, wood release, tree binding technique. Then, the Hokage building began to tremble suddenly in the blink of an eye. A large number of trees grew wildly around Shimura Danzo, penetrated the floor, and tightly bound his entire body in the blink of an eye. This, Shimura Danzo exclaimed, there is no suitable candidate here. So I have to ask Mr. Bandage to be a model, Mr. Bandage won't be angry, right? Shinomiya Yuzuki gave Danzo a playful look and said teasingly, You? Shimura Danzo gritted his teeth. Put me down quickly. However, Shinomiya Yuzuki pretended not to hear and turned directly to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hokage, you see, this is wood release. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen was completely stunned. It's actually the real wood release. After a moment, he returned to normal, eyes full of amazement. I'm afraid that the blood of the Senju clan once flowed in your family, and it awakened in your generation. It is obvious that Shinomiya Yuzuki's parents do not belong to the Senju clan, of which Sarutobi Hiruzen is very sure, but if we trace back a few generations, the situation is unknown. The ninja world during the Warring States period was in chaos. He might really be the lost descendant of the Senju clan after all. In the previous experiment of implanting Hashirama's cells, there was no name of Yuzuki Shinomiya, which means that his wood release ability is self-awakened. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep puff of his pipe, his tone full of excitement. Great, wood release has reappeared in Konoha? This is great news for us. With young people like you here, Konoha's future can be entrusted to you with confidence, and I can also put my burden aside with peace of mind. The first generation of Hokage relied on wood release to conquer the ninja world and laid a solid foundation for Konoha. Now that wood release has reappeared, it indicates that Konoha will usher in a more glorious era. Yuzuki. Besides us, does anyone else know that you can use wood release? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. No. Just a few of us. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, and after a moment's silence, he suggested, Yaoyu, it's best to keep this matter secret for now. When you have become stronger and more mature. Sarutobi Hiruzen paused, and after a brief consideration, he said firmly, by then, you will become the 5th Hokage of Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen also realized that his decision was a bit abrupt, but this is a naturally awakened wood release. Unlike Yamato's incomplete form, Shigen Yuzuki's potential is unlimited. In order to ensure that talents do not leave, sufficient temptations must be given first, which is commonly known as painting a pie. Tai Shinomiya Yuzuki firmly to Konoha's warship. What? Shimura Danzo's eyes widened. The position of the 5th Hokage has been decided like this, and it's against the holder of wood release, so doesn't that mean he has no hope at all? Hiruzen, aren't you taking this too far? Shimura Danzo is unwilling to change Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind, but he was interrupted by Sarutobi Hiruzen's stern rebuke. Shut up, that's how it's decided. Then, he put on a kind face. Yaoyu, didn't you just say you wanted to go home to cook? Then I won't keep you any longer. Remember today's conversation? Shigen Yaoi forced a smile and said, then I'll take my leave first. After saying that, he turned and left. After Shinomiya Yuzuki left, Sarutobi Hiruzen's smile gradually faded. He turned to Danzo and asked, did you know this already? What do you know? Shimura Danzo knew that he was referring to wood release, but he could not admit it, so he denied it. Looking at Danzo's expression of pretending to be puzzled, Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head, sighed, and took another puff of his pipe. Forget it. After saying that, he shook his head and left the Hokage's office. At this moment, he has more important matters to deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen's departure. Only Shimura Danzo was left in the office, restrained by the wood release technique and unable to move. Wait. Hiruzen, quickly tell that boy to come back and undo this jutsu. On the other side, Shigen Yaoyu, who was rushing home, suddenly felt as if he had missed something. I can't remember. Never mind. It's probably not a big deal. Back home, Shigen Yaoyu carried 2 large bags of food and planned to prepare a sumptuous dinner. However, when he opened the door, he found that Naruto was not on the house. Huh? Didn't you say you would come to my house for dinner? Did you go back early? After putting the food in the refrigerator and walking into the living room, Yaoi discovered a note on the table. This is a note left by Naruto, saying that Sasuke wants to see him. Sasuke is looking for Naruto? Hey, this is quite new. Shigen Yaoyu's mouth curled up into a smile, thinking secretly in his heart, Sasuke is a man of action. Is he going to stir up the future so soon? I don't know what he is up to when it comes to finding Naruto. Is he going to reveal the secret in advance, or is he going to start mentor mode early? This chapter is not finished yet. Please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Yuzuki didn't bother to think too much. Whatever Sasuke did was good. After all, it would be his fault in the end at that time. No matter what Sasuke rewrites, the golden road of profit will always point to himself. Wood release, clone technique. As soon as she finished speaking, 2 wooden clones came out to take care of the dinner. While she herself leisurely enjoyed her bathing time passes, the night deepens. I'm here to help you, little Naruto. Looking at the full moon outside the window, Yaoi jumped lightly and disappeared into the curtain of night on the other side. In Naruto's den. Ouch, my butt. Naruto had just changed into his pajamas and laid down when he accidentally touched the scars left by training that was the trophy from the special training at Sasuke's house. Sasuke is like a completely different person. After school, Sasuke took him to a secret training camp without saying a word for the sake of Konoha and his own future. He couldn't continue to be a lazy person. He also said a lot of confusing things. And the result was that he and Sakura trained intensively with Sasuke for several hours, from basic taijutsu to advanced ninjutsu, to chakra manipulation. Everything is included. When Sakura heard that she could train with Sasuke, she was so excited that she felt like she had taken stimulants. Poor Sakura, she almost collapsed from exhaustion. By the way, Sasuke knows a lot. I wonder if he can compare to Yatsuki. Period. Naruto waved his fists a few times and felt that he was indeed a little stronger, but fatigue soon came over him, and after a big yawn, he turned off the light and fell asleep, and Shinomiya Yuzuki sat quietly on the roof, patiently waiting for Naruto to fall asleep. After making sure Naruto was fast asleep, he quietly sneaked into the house. Chapter 22. Jiu Lama, I'm also reborn. Sasuke as a cheat. I have to arrange one for you too. Let's have something special. There is no need for Naruto to be reborn. Sasuke is already the key to change. However, adding some ingredients to the Kurama in Naruto's body is a good choice. Jiu Lama accompanies Naruto throughout his life. As his plug-in, it is neither too powerful nor too practical. Enjoy it, Naruto. Yaoyu chuckled and took out a memory crystal. Kurama's memory crystal. He gently placed the crystal on Naruto's abdomen, and after a while, the crystal merged into him silently. Done. Retreat. Shinomiya Yuzuki disappeared in an instant. Is this the power of the Otsutsuki? Sasuke said weakly. He fell to the ground. Boruto's arm was broken and his spine was damaged. His life was hanging by a thread. Naruto was also suppressed by the huge power of Otsutsuki Isshiki and was in danger. Naruto, I have a way for you to defeat him, but it will cost you your life. Are you willing? On the edge of blurring consciousness, in Naruto's spiritual world, the figure of Kurama appeared. Jiu Lama seemed to have made some kind of decision and told Naruto that there was another ultimate secret technique. Naruto smiled calmly. Kurama, from the moment I decided to become Hokage, my life has belonged to this village. Hearing this, Jiu Lama laughed heartily. Well then, Naruto, prepare yourself for this power. Kurama put his hands together and merged his chakra with Naruto's, creating a new energy that had never been seen before. Instantly, Uzumaki Naruto was wrapped in the red chakra light. And his momentum suddenly rose. The giant cube that was suppressing him was overturned in an instant. Heavy particle mode activated. In this mode, even defense becomes futile, and he can only let Naruto attack violently after a tough battle. Otsutsuki Isshiki was finally defeated. Jiu Lama, it's great to have you along the way. From now on, the village will be left to you to protect. After Naruto said this, he collapsed due to exhaustion, thinking that he was about to die after using the heavy particle mode. Why say such discouraging words? You still have a long way to go. These little bumps and bruises can't do anything to you, eh? But you clearly said that turning on that mode will deplete your vitality. Jiu Lama's figure gradually blurred. Who told you that I was going to take your life? Seeing this scene, Naruto suddenly realized, even though he was ignorant, 9 Lamas, don't cry, you are the Hokage. Naruto. After saying this, Jiu Lama completely disappeared into thin air. Just as Jiu Lama's consciousness was about to dissipate, it suddenly gathered back. The surrounding environment seems to have changed. Why does it feel wet? A hint of human curiosity appeared on Jiu Lama's furry face when he opened his eyes. The scene before him gave him a strong sense of deja vu. It was dark, damp, and he was wrapped in countless thick iron chains, which made him unable to move. There was a huge iron fence in front of him, surrounding him tightly, as if he was in a dungeon. Here it is. Jiu Lama's pupils shrank suddenly. Isn't this Naruto's sealed space? How could Jiu Lama forget this place? But why did he appear here again? Shouldn't death lead to the underworld? Did something bad happen to Naruto as well? No. Jiu Lama looked at the chain behind him. He and Naruto have long been in sync and have broken free from the shackles of the past. Not only does he not have to be restricted by chains and fences, he can also stretch his chakra at any time to sense everything in the outside world. But the layout here, no matter how I look at it, it seems like I have gone back to more than 10 years ago, when Naruto had not yet achieved a spiritual connection with me. Wait, more than 10 years ago? Jiu Lama seems to wake up from a dream. He quickly mobilized his remaining chakra to check who sealed him. Although his chakra was limited when he was sealed, he was still able to identify his own Jinchuriki. When he looked up, he saw little Naruto sleeping on the bed. At this moment, It was like thunder in the clear sky. What exactly is going on? Ulama was deeply shocked. Did Naruto really turn back into his childhood? No, that's not right. He must have traveled back in time. From Konoha's 83rd year back to Konoha's 60th year, Naruto is exactly this age at this time. What the hell? Ulama was a little confused for a moment. At this moment, Naruto suddenly frowned and touched his stomach with a painful expression. Seeing this, Kurama immediately collected the leaked chakra. Because of the existence of the 8 diagrammed seal, too much chakra would make Naruto miserable. Naruto? This guy. Ulama sighed helplessly. Forget it, since it has come, let's make the best of it. Ulama slowly lay down. In a sense, this is a good thing, right? He was supposed to be dead, but he is alive and has returned to the past. But this place is really cramped. He is used to free and easy life. I'm really not used to being back in this kind of bondage. All of a sudden, we have to find a way to get him to unlock this seal as soon as possible. Ulama was thinking. In a blink of an eye, the sky turned pale. There was a hurried knock on Naruto's door. Naruto, get up and start training, Uchiha Sasuke called from outside the door. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Well, Naruto rubbed his sleepy eyes. He looked at the alarm clock and it was only 5 in the morning. Is Sasuke crazy? Naruto was extremely eager to continue his encounter with Jogon. But the door seemed to be about to collapse from Sasuke's knock. Sighing, Naruto got up and washed up. I'm coming. When he opened the door, Uchiha Sasuke was already standing outside, ready to go. Let's go. Hurry up and practice as much as possible before class. After saying that, Sasuke dragged Naruto straight to the training ground. Huh? What happened to Sasuke? I remember that their relationship was very tense at this time. Ulama looked at the outside world and felt that it was a bit strange, but he knew that it was because he had a bad memory. At that time, he was imprisoned in the sealed space all day and did not spy on Naruto's daily life. Period. Maybe that's just how their relationship is. Arriving at the training ground, Hiruno Sakura was already waiting there. She prepared breakfast for 3 people, and after the meal, they started their morning exercise. There was nothing special at first until Sasuke and Naruto kept discussing Shinomiya Yuzuki. Shigen Yuzuki. Kurama scratched his head. Is there such a person in Naruto and Sasuke's circle of friends? How come it has no impression? But from the conversation between Naruto and Sasuke, they seem to be very familiar with this Shinomiya Yuzuki. Naruto praises him highly, while Sasuke is both afraid of him and respects him. It's weird, so weird. Chapter 23 Chunin Examination, Konoha 47th year. What? Uchiha Obito yawned loudly. Lin, why did you wake me up so early in the morning? The door creaked open. Obito squinted his eyes, and rubbed his sleepy eyes with his hands. Nahorin grabbed Obito's hand and smiled as bright as the sun. Hurry up, Minato-sensei wants us to gather together. As soon as he saw Lin's healing smile, Obito's sleepiness was immediately dispelled. Be full of energy. Let's go. Soon, the two came to a small bridge over a gurgling stream. Kakashi has been waiting there for a long time. Wow, that's strange. I'm not late today. I think this must be Lin's credit. Otherwise someone would have been able to sleep until noon. When these two brothers meet, they can't help but tease each other. Arrogant Kakashi, do you want to practice fighting with me? Obito was so angry that his teeth were itching. The someone Kakashi mentioned is obviously Obito. I didn't mention anyone by name. Please don't take it for granted. Kakashi spread his hands innocently. Whoa, if Rin hadn't held him tightly, Obito would have rushed over to teach Kakashi a lesson. Okay, you two are such a jerk. Lin looked helpless and stood in the middle to act as a peacemaker. HMPH, for Lin's sake, let's forget about it this time. I won't be so lucky next time. Obito habitually made harsh remarks. Kakashi chuckled. I don't think we need to wait until next time. Why not have a fight now? Obito was eager to compete with Kakashi in the past. He was indeed no match for Kakashi, but now he has opened the main Gekyo Sharingan and successfully evolved into Eternity with the skill of Infinite Abyss alone. He is sure to win. Not to mention that he can suck Kakashi into the Kamui space with just a light touch. The outcome was still undecided, but in the end they didn't really fight with Lin mediating. They can just talk nonsense. Just at this moment, Namake's Minato finally appeared with a teleportation. Minato appeared in front of the 3 people. Minato Sensei. The 3 of them greeted. Minato smiled and nodded, then took out 3 documents from his pocket. I have good news for you all. Namake's Minato prepared an application for the Chunin exam for them. As long as they are willing, they can challenge the Chunin exam at any time. Once they pass, they can become Chunin. The 3 of them chose to participate without hesitation. The first stage of the Chunin exam is a written test. For Kakashi, It's a piece of cake. He was the first to hand in his paper and leave the examination room. In contrast, Obito was so anxious that he scratched his head and couldn't answer the questions at all. In the end, I barely passed the test with the answer that Lin secretly passed on after the written test. The practical test in a few days will be the second stage of the Chunin exam. Time flies. On the day of the practical test, outside the examination room, Kakashi and Rin are still waiting because Obito hasn't arrived yet. Only 5 minutes left. If you exceed the time limit, it will be regarded as automatic waiver of qualification. The teacher in charge of the exam explained the rules to the two. Wait a little longer. I believe Obito will come. Although Naho Rin was a little nervous, she still trusted Obito. Kakashi said with a hint of regret, "We are afraid that we will be dragged down by him." "No, Obito will definitely arrive in time." Lin's tone was firm. The voice just fell. A black vortex suddenly appeared in the void before my eyes. Uchiha Obito rolled his eyes and came out. "Hey Kakashi, I heard you talking bad about me behind my back." Kakashi was stunned by Obito's appearance. "You learned the same space-time ninjutsu as your teacher?" Kakashi thought he was asleep. Although the space-time ninjutsu is powerful, the difficulty of learning it is also doubled. He tried to learn the Flying Thunder God of Minato Namikaze, but he couldn't get started at all. He simply couldn't imagine that Obito had secretly learned space-time ninjutsu. Obito proudly raised his thumb and pointed at himself. "Now you have seen the power of Uchiha? I told you I am a genius. This is nothing. I guarantee that the exam will open your eyes." Although Naho-Lin was shocked, she had to fight against time. She hurriedly pushed Obito and Kakashi and said anxiously, all right, stop talking nonsense. The exam is about to start." In the examination room, in a flash, the opponents of each candidate were decided. Obito ran head-on into the blue beast of the future Konoha village. "Metke, this guy Kai, you really can't underestimate him. His potential is so terrifying." Uchiha Obito squinted his eyes and looked at the dumb-looking boy in tights opposite him. The forbidden technique of 8 gates ninjutsu is used to perfection by Kai, and even Uchiha Madara praised it highly. The competition begins. Following the examiner's order, the battle begins. "Aha!" Might Guy shouted loudly, and then he attacked with a whip kick like a storm. He was about to kick Obito, but he seemed to be stunned and stood still, a face caught off guard. Obito, on the sidelines, Naho-Lin was worried. In the monitoring room, Namikaze Minato, who was watching the battle with the third Hokage, couldn't help but press his forehead. This chapter is not over. Please click on the next page to continue reading. Obito is going to lose. However, the next scene made Minato and Sarutobi Hiruzen dumbfounded. What happened? The two looked at each other, their eyes full of disbelief. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.